Mine or yours? Oh yeah, I'm good. I don't want to make it too tight. I'll be sleeping up here. Huh? Oh, Linda.
Mr. Clerk, if you would please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, Mayor Van Johnson.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem and District 5 Alderwoman Dr. Estella Edwards Shabazz.
Present.
Chairman and District 4 Alderman Nick Palumbo.
Present.
Vice Chair and District 3 Alderwoman Linda Wilder.
Let's pause.
Pause.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go today. We're going to pause on some of this stuff.
Post 1 Alderwoman Carolyn H. Bell.
Present.
Post 2 Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely.
Present.
District 1 Alderwoman Pernetta B. Lanier.
Present.
District 2 Alderman Dietrich Leggett.
Here.
And District 6 Alderman Curtis Purty is next door on an NLC
Yes.
call, and he'll be joining us shortly. Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. All rise. I call this meeting of the Savannah City Council to order. Today is August the 27th, 2026. The time is 2:19 p.m. We want to thank all of you for joining us in our chambers today. Sorry about the elevator. We're trying to get that fixed, and across our various digital platforms. In Savannah, we say that Savannah will be a safe, environmentally healthy, and economically thriving community for all. And for us, all means all. Most importantly, today is Jay Melder's birthday. So, and he has aged considerably since coming to the Savannah, to the city of Savannah. Happy birthday
Yes, it is.
to our city manager. Today's invocator will be introduced by 2nd District Alderman Dietrich Leggett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In the Lutheran faith, we say, may the Lord be with you.
And
And also with you.
Today I introduce the lead pastor of Holy Spirit Lutheran Church, Pastor Raheem Malik Brown. He earned his Master's of Divinity from St. Paul's School of Theology in Linwood, Kansas. He completed his academic year at Lutheran Theological Southern Seminary in Columbia, South Carolina. Throughout his life, Pastor Brown has been dedicated to serving others of his community. He served as a fire specialist in New Bern Fire and Rescue in New Bern, North Carolina, and worked as a certified nursing assistant. He also worked at an at-risk youth Shelterwood Academy in Independence, Missouri, before entering full-time ministry. In 2014, he was called to serve as associate pastor at Blue Ridge Boulevard Christian Church in Independence, Montana. In 2021, Pastor Brown joined Abiding Presence Lutheran Church in Fort Fuqua, North Carolina, as youth and family minister. After entering the candidacy process in 2022, he completed 1 unit of clinical pastoral education, CPE, at UNC Nash in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. That same year, he was invited to serve as chaplain of North Carolina Synod Assembly. In 2023, Pastor Brown began his internship, in Lutheran Church of Atonement in Atlanta, Georgia. During this time in Atlanta, he was actively involved in camp in the city and collaborated with the African Descent Lutheran Association. In 2024, he returned to the North Carolina Synod, where he contributed to the region's non-planning team. Pastor Brown served on the North Carolina Synod Compensation Committee and in 2025, North Carolina Synod Assembly Worship Committee, before being called to Holy Spirit Lutheran Church, the only African-American Lutheran church in Savannah, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Savannah's own Pastor Raheem Brown.
Thank you. Good afternoon. As Alderman said, my name is Raheem Brown, and I am the pastor of Holy Spirit Lutheran Church on East 37th Street here in Savannah, Georgia. One interesting thing about me is I am a transplant to Savannah. I'm originally from North Carolina. However, I was engaged in this beautiful city, had my honeymoon in this beautiful city, and now I was called to this beautiful city to serve as a pastor to the people of Savannah. So today I would like to thank the Honorable Mayor, the Aldermen, and Alderwomen. Thank you for the service of leadership and commitment to our community. May you continue to lead us in wisdom, integrity, courage, and in unity, always remembering that the decisions that are made in these chambers have the power to strengthen the lives and the future of the people that you serve. Together, we may build this community defined not by division, but by hope, progress, and shared commitment to better tomorrow. Let us pray. Gracious and almighty God, we pause at the beginning of this meeting to seek your presence, your peace, and your wisdom. Bless these proceedings with the calm hearts, respectful dialogue, and the spirit of cooperation. Guide our city council leaders with discernment, integrity, courage as they consider the matters before them. Bring peace to our community, unity among our leaders, and understanding among our people. Help every decision made in this chamber reflect fairness, compassion, wisdom, and genuine commitment to the common good. Lord, as this council considers the resolutions before them, grant them clarity of thought and sincerity of purpose. May these resolutions be guided with the right, beneficial, and just for the people we are called to serve. Bless this city, its leaders, its family, and every person that's called this community home. May your presence rest upon this meeting, your wisdom direct its decisions, and your blessings accompany the resolutions before us. Amen.
Amen. We'll now honor our country. Thank you all so much. You may be seated. Pastor Brown, thank you so much for gracing us, and we'll pray for you because you Pastor Alderman Leggett. So I know that must be a hard journey. I know that must be a very difficult thing to do, so we're going to keep you in our prayers as well.
And our church said amen.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor.
Good afternoon. Let's proceed.
Yes, sir. I would like to go to the first item to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion for the adoption of the regular meeting agenda for August 27th, 2026.
Second motion.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
I'd like to make a motion for item number 2 and 3 for the approval of the minutes for the special call meeting held on August 13th, 2026 at 11 o'clock a.m. and for the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting held on August 13th, 2026 at 2 o'clock p.m.
Special call meeting held on August the 13th at 11 a.m. and approval of the minutes for the regular meeting held on August 13th at 2 p.m. You've heard the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We're going to now move on to something that this council particularly looks very forward to. We're going to ask all of our labor superheroes to come up. All our labor folks. Here they come.
Rough.
This is something we've enjoyed the relationship and a recognition that we have enjoyed making annually that really distinguishes us from our peers, not only in Georgia, but around the country. And the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the strength, prosperity, and progress of the city of Savannah has been built upon the skill, sacrifice, determination, and dignity of working people. And whereas generations of workers and organized labor has helped secure important protections and opportunities that benefit all workers, including safer workplaces, fair wages, reasonable working hours, workplace benefits, and the fundamental right to organize and collectively advocate for better working conditions. And whereas the city of Savannah recognizes that a strong workforce and a strong labor movement contribute to stronger families and a more resilient economy and a more equitable and prosperous community. And whereas the Working Savannah Task Force has worked to advance policies, partnerships, and initiatives that promote economic dignity workplace fairness, worker protection, and greater opportunities for working people throughout Savannah. And whereas the Savannah Regional Central Labor Council, representing affiliated unions and working families throughout our region, continues its longstanding commitment to advocating for workers, strengthening communities, securing good-paying jobs, and ensuring that working people have a meaningful voice in our shared future. And whereas the accomplishments of the Working Savannah Task Force and the Savannah Regional Central Labor Council demonstrate what is possible when government, labor, employers, and community partners work together toward the common goal of ensuring that prosperity reaches the people whose labor helps create it. And whereas, as our nation observes Labor Day, the city of Savannah believes that one day is simply not enough to recognize the extraordinary contributions of the men and women whose work keeps our city moving, growing, serving, building, protecting, creating, and thriving. And whereas Labor Week provides an opportunity to honor Savannah's workers, past and present, and to reaffirm our commitment to the dignity of work, the value of every worker, and the principle that all means all when it comes to opportunity, fairness, respect, and economic prosperity. Now, therefore, I, Van R. Johnson II, Mayor of the City of Savannah, do hereby proclaim September 1st through the 7th, 2026, as Labor Week in the City of Savannah, and encourage all Savannahans to join me in recognizing the accomplishments and contributions of the Working Savannah Task Force and the Savannah Regional Central Labor Council, organized labor, and the working people throughout our community. May we continue working together to build a Savannah where work is respected, workers are valued, families can thrive, and our collective progress benefits us all. And this is witness whereof I've set my hand and caused the seal of the great city of Savannah to be affixed on this day. Ms. Christy Hume, thank you so much for your work. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. On behalf of the Savannah Regional Central Labor Council, our executive board, our delegates, and all of our affiliated unions, I want to sincerely thank you for recognizing organized labor and the working people of our community. Labor Day is more than a holiday or a long weekend. It's a time to remember the generations of working men and women who stood together and fought for the things that many of us benefit today: fair wages, safer workplaces, reasonable working hours, and the right to have a voice on the job. Those victories did not come easily. They came because working people understood that when we stand together, our collective voice is stronger. Today, the Savannah Regional Central Labor Council is proud to carry that tradition forward. Our affiliated unions represent working people throughout our region. While we may come from different trades, professions, and workplaces, we share a common purpose: to stand up for working families and make our community stronger. This recognition is especially meaningful to us today because we are also honoring someone who embodied the commitment of working people: our union sister, our treasurer, and our dear friend, Teresa Watson. Teresa dedicated so much of her... Teresa dedicated so much of herself to perform labor movement and to the people she represented. Her absence is deeply felt, but the work she did and the lives she touched will continue to be a part of our labor family for many years to come. Mayor Johnson and the members of council, thank you for recognizing the Savannah Regional Central Labor Council, our unions, and the working men and women of Savannah that we so proudly represent. Thank you.
Thank you. To that end, I wanted to recognize the folks that are here. So if you can come up and just tell us your affiliation and local, so we can make sure everyone's recognized. So y'all can just come on through.
I'm with the National Association of Letter Carriers. I'm the Isaiah White. All right.
I'm Courtney Williams, business manager of IBEW Local 508.
Raymond McCullough, Carpenters Union, Savannah, Georgia, established 1898. and I appreciate everybody's support. They're helping the young people of Savannah earn a career and have a little bit of pride about themselves.
Brett Hume, retired Southeastern Carpenters Regional Council Political Director. Still a 37-year dues-paying member of the Office and Professional Employees, Local 277.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Brad.
Come on, Waukee.
Danica Mosley, I'm IBAW Office Manager.
Rick Ellison, rough. Retirees unite for the future. Thank you.
Come on, we rough. Come on, Mr. President.
Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely, a proud member of ILA Local 1414 since 2003. Whoop! Alderwoman Lanier, retired ILA Local 1414 as well. Thank you.
I'm Waukee Reed. I'm on the executive board for the Savannah Regional Central Labor Council, and I'm also the vice president of the Amalgamated Transit Union over at Chatham Area Transit Authority.
There it is.
My name is Michael Ruiz. I am a member of AFGE. I am a transportation security officer here in Savannah, and I'm also a local steward. Thank you for taking the time out today for us. Thank you.
I'm Yvonne Taylor Brooks. I'm the president of the Georgia State AFL-CIO.
Cheryl Hurd. I am retired. I am a member of the American Postal Workers Union, Local 29.
Hey there, I'm Randy Zerker. I'm a local representative for the Savannah Federation of Teachers, Paraprofessionals, and School-Related Personnel, Local 2069.
Good afternoon. My name is Elaine Snyder, and I represent Savannah Federation of Teachers and all public school-related personnel. Branch 2069 is our local, and I'm a 36-year member.
I am Tanya Bing. I am the treasurer of Savannah Federation of Teachers, and I'm also a proud friend of our late president, Teresa Watson.
Hello, I'm George Boardnave, AFT National Representative. I've been assigned to Savannah for some time now, and we really, really appreciate this in behalf of Teresa Watson. Thank you so very much.
Yes, it is.
Jean Edwards, representative of the Savannah Federation of Teachers and a proud sister friend of Teresa Watson.
I'm James Williams. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer for the Georgia State AFL-CIO, and Teresa was one of my mentors and my peer coaches, so I miss my sister dearly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the name Teresa Watson continues to ring. She would have been here. Teresa's family is here. I'm going to ask them to come up. Teresa was well, first of all, I've had the pleasure of knowing her and her family for many years. Teresa was someone who was about business. And Teresa used to get on my last nerve. Because I would have to remind Teresa when she fussed about teacher stuff, I'm like, you know we don't employ any teachers. But you got a voice. You can still do something about it. But she was not only active, she was absolutely adamant about those that she served and those that she represented. You could always count on her. And our hearts were just simply broken when we found that she had transitioned from labor to award. And we believe, because we know she believed, that she transitioned. She just moved on to a promotion in a better place. And it coincided with Labor Weekend, so we just could not let this occasion, with all of these labor leaders here that worked alongside her, certainly that loved her, certainly are devastated by her passing, to not take a few moments in our schedule today to recognize Teresa. So mom, and to this family. This reads as follows. Whereas Teresa Lee Watson was born May the 27th, 1968 in Harlem, New York, to Carl and Rebecca Watson, and after living in Jacksonville, Florida, her family made Savannah, Georgia, their forever home. Whereas as a lifelong learner and educator, Teresa graduated from Robert W. Groves High School in 1986 and Savannah Technical College, attended Savannah State University, earned a bachelor's degree in child development from Point University, and a master's degree in education from the University of Phoenix, and continued her educational journey as a doctoral student in special education at Liberty University. And whereas Teresa devoted 28 years to the Savannah-Chatham County Public School System, including service as a job coach with Project Search, helping students with exceptional abilities develop skills, confidence, independence, and pathways to meaningful employment. And whereas Teresa was a passionate champion for working people, serving 12 years as the president of the Savannah Federation of Teachers, Paraprofessionals, and School-Related Personnel, where she fought for fairness, dignity, equitable treatment, and opportunity for all school employees. And whereas her servant leadership extended throughout Savannah and Georgia through her service as former vice president of the Georgia Federation of Teachers, a former member of the City of Savannah's Civil Service Board, and trustee, treasurer, and communications committee chair of the Savannah Regional Central Labor Council. And whereas Teresa worked alongside the Savannah City Council to address challenges facing working families and helped the Central Labor Council raise funds to provide Christmas gifts for nearly 100 children in need. And whereas Teresa lived the spirit of Romans 12:10, demonstrating her life that true leadership means being devoted to others in love and honoring others above ourselves. And whereas Teresa Lee Watson leaves an enduring legacy through the students she encouraged, the workers she defended, the families she supported, the institutions she strengthened, the hell that she raised, and the countless lives that she touched. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and aldermen of the city of Savannah honor and celebrate the legacy and life of Teresa Lee Watson and extend our deepest condolences to her family, friends, colleagues, students, and the labor family. Be it further resolved that the city of Savannah expresses its profound gratitude for her lifetime of service and encourages all to continue her work of educating our children, empowering working people, serving those in need, and always honoring others above ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen of council, I would entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved, sir.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please stand and let us honor Teresa with a moment of silence? May her life and legacy be a blessing. Oh, well, let me, and on behalf of a grateful city,
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kia Watson, and I will speak a little something on behalf of my sister, Teresa Watson. This is my mother, Rebecca Watson. Just a little something. On behalf of our family, thank you for this beautiful proclamation honoring the life and legacy of our beloved Teresa. We are deeply grateful that her kindness, contributions, and impact on others are being remembered and recognized. This honor means so much to our family, and we will forever treasure her memory and the legacy she left behind. Thank you all so much, and continue to pray for our family, and we will be praying for you all as well. Thank you all.
Thank you for sharing her.
somebody, was it somebody from labor? I forgot, I'm sorry, come on. Mom, wait 1 second.
So again, I'm Yvonne Brooks. I'm the president of the Georgia State AFL-CIO. And Mom, thank you for sharing your daughter with us. Teresa was a friend of mine as well. I knew if she called me, if I saw Teresa Watson, I better answer the phone and get back with her. But she was good about it because sometimes I say, Teresa, let me get back with you. And she'd wait. And so our last conversations was about being more involved in some of the other groups. And I just appreciate the way that you raised her and the way that your family is, because you don't find individuals, people like that very often. And she was very close to our heart at the Georgia AFL-CIO. That is why we drove from Atlanta to come down, because she may be here, but she was with us in Atlanta. And as my colleague, my secretary-treasurer said, they went to a leadership intensive, and they became peer coaches. She stayed on him. Thank you, Teresa. But she got him ready. So I just want to thank the mayor, Mayor Johnson. You have been more than a friend to labor, and we truly appreciate it. There's nowhere in this state that we get this except for in Savannah. I say it as I see it. And so we just appreciate the city council for indulging as well, because this is special. We built this city. We keep it running. If it wasn't for workers, then none of this would be moving. So I'd say give all the workers a hand as well.
So thank you all so much. And as you can tell, when one labor shows up, everybody from labor shows up.
That's
so.
right, that's right.
But thank you all so much, and let us continue to work in Teresa's memory, going hard all the time. Thank you all so much.
God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next appearance of recognition was something that I insisted on, and this is from our Path Forward 2026 cohort graduates. We want these amazing young people to come forward, and y'all give them a big round of applause as they do. All right. Y'all come on around. We'll get it all worked out. There you go. There you go. All right. You see, man. All right. All right. And then the old guys. Good to see you. And older ladies. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we recognize that although we're members of City Council, we don't have magic wands. If we could wave trouble away, we will wave trouble away. We continue to have individuals in our city who do dumb and dangerous things, particularly in the areas of violence. And we're all asked about what we're doing. Some of it is being able to catch those who offend, being able to assist that they are away from our community for a very long time. But a fair part of our work is creating opportunities where it doesn't happen in the first place. And you do that by creating opportunities for young people to do better, because life does not come with an instruction book. And so we put caring and capable mentors and a great work program and create opportunities for young people to find a path forward. And so we've been able to do that through your support of the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. And we have another cohort of amazing young men who have worked really hard, and they have persevered. And I wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to see these amazing young people and certainly celebrate and congratulate them for all the work that they have done. Did you want to go first? All right, and then we'll go with Path Forward.
Well, I just wanted to say how proud we are of our Path Forward graduates and how proud we are of the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. I know that, Alderwoman Miller Blakely will know, but, you know, challenge coins come from a military tradition, and challenge coins are given to those who are on their way to a big journey or a big mission, or have just returned from achieving a big journey and a big mission. And we've got our own challenge coin here at the City of Savannah, and GPS and all of these young men have done both. They've just returned from a big journey and a big achievement and are off for new things. And as a token of our appreciation and our support for them and their incredible futures, going to give them a challenge coin too as they come up to give their name and introduce themselves to you. And again, I want to thank council for their incredible investment in these programs. This is the future of our city, and I know that the one's office and our incredible staff you take these programs to heart and really love working with the young people that you're about to meet. And so thank you, and congratulations to all of our Path Forward graduates. It's a remarkable achievement. We can't wait to see what you achieve with your life. We know it's going to be tremendous.
Again, thank you, council, mayor, city manager's office for continuing to support these young people.
Your name?
Jimmy Johnson, Senior Director of the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement with the City of Savannah. The investment, we do not take it lightly. These young people behind me don't take it lightly. They are ready to go and tackle the world. I did want to give an update on last year's cohort and give you the expectations for this cohort. Last year cohort, we saw a 20% recidivism rate. So only 2 out of the 10 that graduated went back into either being a victim or perpetrator of gun violence. So we have an 80% success rate. 90% of last year's cohort is gainfully employed right now, 90%. Collectively, 52% have achieved their educational goals from last year. One of the hindrances that we saw in that was the accessibility to technology, but thankful to Comcast, our city partner, we were able to overcome that barrier with this cohort, so the expectations are even higher. Each one of these young men were given in kind donation a laptop from Comcast to help them achieve their educational goals. So thank you all for the support, and again, we look forward to what these young men and young women will achieve in the future.
Good afternoon. My name is Trayvon Frazier, and I'm a participant of the Path Forward program. I'm here to present the mayor with this plaque. Savannah Office of Neighborhood and Safety and Engagement, special thanks to the mayor's office and the members of City Council for your unwavering support of the 2026 Path Forward cohort.
So we'll start with the staff, and then we're going to have all of you introduce yourselves, and we'll go from there. So,
Marco George, Youth Empowerment Specialist.
Isaac Felton, Senior Program Coordinator.
Kaylee Hurd, Senior Program Coordinator.
Laurel White, Administrative Assistant.
Crystal Bridges, Youth Empowerment Specialist.
Tim Wright, Youth Empowerment Specialist.
Yes.
all right, let's start from here.
I'm Anton Bones, one of the my bad, I'm so sorry. One of the participants at this program.
All right.
I'm Trayvon Frazier, a participant of the Path Forward program.
Jaden Watson, also participate with Path Forward.
Yes, sir.
Isaac Singletary, I'm a participant of the Path Forward.
Excellent.
Cool, man.
I'm telling you.
Steve Parker, and I'm a
participant of Path Forward.
Excellent.
Jeremiah Scott, and I'm a participant of Path Forward.
Right, Jeremiah.
I'm Darrell Petty, and I'm a participant of Path Forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, big round of applause. I used to be smooth like that. I mean, all of them just get up just real smooth, just kind of come up and Van Johnson, Path Forward program. We're so proud of you. You can do this, you can do anything, right? So, we want to see you for good reasons, and we know you can do it, right? All right. So go forward, one direction, continue doing great things, make us proud, and help some of our brothers out there who just are not thinking right in their head, right? We want you to live, and we want you to live life more abundantly, and we know you can do it, all right? God bless. Be Savannah strong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Round of applause, round of applause. Oh.
Yeah, we want y'all to do like T.I. Let them know.
Hey, y'all gonna smile or what?
They cool.
I mean, they cool, right?
That's a good one.
2, 1. Hey,
Mayor Johnson.
He tried to get you, man. He tried to get you. I stopped.
Mayor Johnson.
Yes.
Hey, Isaac Felton.
I hope those young men are going to take advantage of the CAPS program. The CAPS program. I hope that those young men are going to take advantage of that phenomenal program.
It is. Matter of fact, we just graduated Cohort last week, and I was the guest speaker for them. We'll make sure that they are familiar. Thank you, any parents that are here and loved ones. Thank you all so much.
Everybody.
We also recognize Asia Hankerson from Comcast. Thank you so much. We appreciate appreciate that as well.
Special shout out to Isaac Felton, Holy Spirit Lutheran Church.
Isaac Felton. All right.
Patricia West. Yay.
So we've also been waiting for this all quarter long. Mr. Manager, it's time for the employee engagement team for the recognition of the 2026 second quarter employee of the quarter winners. Right?
Yeah. All right, well, let's hear from our employee engagement team.
Good afternoon, City Council. My name is Megan Kirchhoff. I'm the chair of our employee engagement team. Today we're going to celebrate our quarter 2 employee of the quarter winners. Our employee of the quarter winners get a cash award of $1,000. $1,000. 24 hours of incentive leave, a certificate, posting on social media, and recognized here at City Council, and they are now in the running for Employee of the Year. So our city manager is going to announce our winners from the quarter 2, so take it away.
All right, thanks, Megan. Q2 winners get all kinds of awards, and remember, these are recognitions of Team Savannah by Team Savannah. This is all the employee engagement, and this is so much fun every quarter. And quarter winners, they all get to be eligible for Employee of the Year, which is a big, big deal. But let's get started. All right, in community services. Your employee of the quarter, Layla Collier, Administrative Assistant Housing Services. Listen, when Layla was working at the Pennsylvania Avenue Resource Center, she demonstrated outstanding initiative by leading the mayor's bingo event. She coordinated with the mayor's office, managed event logistics, and created promotional materials. Layla is dependable, compassionate, resourceful, and committed to excellent customer service, and it shows, and that's why, Layla, you are an employee of the quarter. Congratulations. All right, for the Savannah Fire Department, you ready, Chief? Jeffrey Goldman, Captain, Fire Ops Division. Captain Goldman with 26 years of service has advanced, been promoted to captain while consistently seeking ways to improve the department. His development of the small engine repair program has reduced cost, minimized equipment downtime, and helped keep critical equipment mission ready. Captain Goldman leads with integrity, accountability, compassion, and humility, and supports his fellow firefighters, and that's why he is Employee of the Quarter. Yeah. Awesome job. Thank you. All right, in government operations, we ready, Gene? Your Employee of the Quarter, Judy Johnson, Code Enforcement Officer. Judy keeps it 100. She's a Savannah native and dedicated public servant who brings extensive experience from the military to law enforcement and now code enforcement. Her commitment to service and lifelong learning is reflected in her 2 master's degrees and continued professional growth. Judy's compassion, integrity, and servant leadership approach allow her to build positive relationship with residents and colleagues, and that's why you, Judy, are Employee of the Quarter.
Wonderful.
Incredible. 15 years of service with Team Savannah. All right, information and public affairs. You ready, Joe? All right, your Employee of the Quarter, Dylan Harper, Senior Network Technician, ITS. Listen, Dylan, 3 years of service has been instrumental in advancing the City of Savannah's technology capabilities. His expertise and proactive approach have led to process automation, improved efficiency, reduced turnaround times, and better service for city employees and residents. Dylan leads with professionalism, accountability, compassion, and a genuine commitment to helping others succeed, and that's why you are an Employee of the Quarter.
Really good.
Good job. All right, Seisha, you ready for management services? All right. The Employee of the Quarter, LaShonda Leathers Leon, Contract Coordinator with Facility Maintenance. LaShonda, in her rookie season at Team Savannah, has embraced her new contract coordinator role with professionalism and enthusiasm while continuing to support her former admin assistant responsibilities. Her ability to manage both roles demonstrates exceptional work ethic, adaptability, and commitment to the division. LaShonda's positive attitude, reliability, attention to detail, and willingness to support others to strengthen both team morale and daily operations is truly why you are Employee of the Quarter.
Yeah.
All right, Faye, we ready for planning and economic development? All right, your Employee of the Quarter, Connie Stevens, Customer Service Representative from the Special Events, Film, and Tourism Office. Also in her rookie season, Connie consistently goes above and beyond her customer service representative role by managing scheduling, application reviews, and permitting for more than 400 street performers. She has also expanded her support to tour permitting, quickly learning new processes, and working independently. Connie is dependable, courteous, detail-oriented, committed to excellent customer service. Her willingness to take on additional responsibilities strengthens a small but mighty team over at special events, and that's why you, Connie, are Employee of the Quarter.
Yes.
All right, Chief Gunther, we ready for police? Oh, AC's here.
Oh, okay.
All right. Your Employee of the Quarter, Corporal Christopher Nations, SPD Mounted Patrol. Corporal Nations is a valued member of the Savannah Police Department's Mounted Patrol Unit who consistently demonstrates professionalism, dedication, and compassion. His presence enhances community engagement, visibility, and positive connections throughout Savannah. Corporal Nations leads with integrity, creativity, and accountability, and a genuine care for others, and that's why, Corporal, you are Employee of the Quarter. Well done.
All right.
Good work. Good work. All right, Ron. Last but not least, we ready for water resources? Your employee of the quarter, Marco Bustos, Senior Maintenance Mechanic, Water Reclamation. Get it, Marco. All right. Marco consistently develops creative, cost-effective solutions for the water reclamation facilities, completing fabrication projects in-house and rebuilding obsolete or costly components, which saves taxpayers and ratepayers money. His resourcefulness has reduced costs, minimized downtime, and improved efficiency for the city. Marco is known for his strong work ethic, positive attitude, humility, and willingness to help others. He's always the first to arrive on the scene, and that's why you are employee of the quarter. Good work.
Yeah.
Well done. Mayor and council, thank you for letting us celebrate Team Savannah as they celebrate each other. Congratulations to all our employee of the quarter winners, and congratulations to the employee engagement team.
Jay, I thought you was about to say alderman of the quarter. One of us.
Everybody leaving us.
We get an alderman of the quarter.
Why are you trying to set me up?
Let us give another big round of applause to our employees of the quarter winners.
Sweat. Just said.
And ladies and gentlemen, again, don't mind us. We just think it's worth our time and worth our effort to praise our own pond. We don't get the work done ourselves. We have amazing individuals, over 2,600 of them every single day doing what they do, being our purveyors of the public trust, and we want to take an opportunity to recognize them, to thank them publicly. It's one thing to thank people privately, but something different to thank them publicly. So, Mr. Manager, thank you. This continues to be an exciting part of our council meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and dive in. And you know what I'm going to do, so let's see what we can manage for expediency purposes. So why don't we just go ahead and take the alcohol license hearings, items 7 through 9. Are there any pullouts on this?
No, sir.
Okay, so then let's go ahead and do the alcohol license hearings. Item number 7 is approval of a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to Colin Breland for Specials Pizza, located at 2520 DeSoto Avenue, between 41st Street and 42nd Street in Automatic District 2. Item number 8 is approval of a Class A liquor, beer, and wine caterer, Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink, Class E beer and wine by the package alcohol license with Sunday sales to Dhruv Kahana for Recess Hotel and Club Savannah Hotel at 70 East Congress Street between Drayton Street and Bull Street in Automatic District 2. And item number 9 is approval of a Class E beer and wine by the package alcohol license to Deanna Dabbitt for Ruby's Corner at 1170 East Durant Avenue between Waters Avenue and Sanders Street in Automatic District 3. Are there any pullouts? If there are no pullouts, I declare this hearing open. Does anyone have anything against any of these items? Does anyone have anything against any of these licenses? Mr. Clerk, did we receive anything?
No, sir.
Okay, so going once, going twice. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Any members of council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we close the public hearing.
Second motion.
Properly moved and seconded that we close the public hearing. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7 is for Specials Pizza, Alderman District 2, Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Ask that we approve a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to Colin Breland for Specials Pizza.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes 8-1. Item number 8 is for Recess Hotel and Club Savannah, 70 East Congress Street, Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Ask that we approve the Class A liquor, beer, and wine caterer, Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink, Class E beer and wine by the package alcohol license with Sunday sales to Dhruv Kahana for Recess Hotel and Club.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes 8-1. Item number 9 is for Ruby's Corner in Alderman District 3, Alderwoman Wilder Bryan.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I would first just like to say that the Dabbits are what we want Savannah to look like. They have several businesses in the second and they're coming to the third district. They are excellent community partners. They have been a community partner of mine for 11 years. They do great things in this community. So it's a pleasure to ask for the approval of the Class E beer and wine by the package alcohol license to Deanna, the Queen, for Ruby's Corner at 1170 East Durin Avenue.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes 8-1. Thank you very much. All right, moving then to our licenses. Y'all, thank you all. Y'all go forth and be great. Do
Yes.
great things. All right. Let's go ahead and move the purchasing items. Are there any pullouts on purchasing? If they're not, we'll move on them. If not, we'll.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion for the approval of our purchasing items number 30 through 39.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Item number 30, authorize the city manager to execute a 3-year contract with software support and maintenance for handheld citation devices, citation services, and letter services with T2 systems in the amount not to exceed $471,944.23. Item number 31, authorize city manager to amend their previously approved agenda item from August 13th to increase the procurement of combination sewer cleaner trucks from 2 to 4 trucks from VACCOM in the amount of $2,382,417.59. Item number 32, authorize city manager to execute a contract for a Lincoln Bearcat armored rescue vehicle from Lincoln Bearcat in the amount of $401,531. Item number 33, authorize city manager to execute a contract for temporary staffing services from Robert Half International in the amount of $130,000. Item 34, authorize city manager to execute a contract for Trimble Unity Professional Services upgrade with Woolpert Incorporated in the amount of $64,000. Item number 35, authorize city manager to execute a contract for 14 security cameras from Net Planner Systems Incorporated in the amount of $54,635.88. Item number 36, authorize city manager to execute contract modification number 2 for towing class services with Yarborough Enterprises Incorporated, DBA Tim's Towing and Recovery in the amount not to exceed $45,000. Item number 37, authorize city manager to execute contract modification number 1 for tree and stump removal services with Arbor Nature LLC in the amount not to exceed $80,000. Item number 38, authorize city manager to execute a contract for repair of leaks at the State Street Garage with Road Construction in the amount of $98,550. And item number 39, authorize city manager to execute contracts to furnish the new Savannah Police Department's Northwest Precinct with C.O. Masons, incorporating the amount of $400,884.67.
So moved, sir. So moved, so moved, so moved.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Let's move to Airport Commission items number 40 to 53. If there are no pullouts, item number 40 is approval to pay Sterling Seacrest Pritchard for the 2025-2026 workers' compensation premium balance in the amount of $29,199. Item number 41, approval of advertising placement in the 2027 Hilton Head Island and Bluffton Vacation Planners in the amount of $57,780. 42 is approval to execute a professional services agreement with Stephen Baldwin and Associates of an amount of $66,000. Item number 43, approval to procure 4 Command Central AXS dispatch consoles from Motorola Solutions in the amount of $1,287,673. Item number 44, approval to renew the DO.me software subscription from Nexus Risk Solutions Group in the amount of $35,095. Item number 45, approval to purchase 3 Kanoka Minolta multifunction devices from ABR Digital Office Solutions in the amount of $30,000. Item number 46, approval to change order number 1 with Shamrock Concrete Construction for the GAV reconstruction and widening project in the amount of $520,050. Item number 47, approval of change order number 7 with Lugas Construction for the terminal expansion, the terminal concourse expansion project in the amount of $365,112. Item number 48, approval to execute a contract with ECS Southeast LLC for the terminal apron north bypass taxi lane and taxiway F reconstruction project in the amount of $103,325. Item number 49, approval of change order number 4 with Right Life Signs Incorporated for the terminal roadway signage project in the amount of $69,465. Item number 50, approval of task work order number 17 with Mead and Hunt for design services to pave rental car parcel B and yellow lot in the amount of $288,718. Item number 51, approval to award contract to Tri-State Pump and Control to install a submersible variable frequency device pump station in an amount of $88,303. Do I have a motion on that?
Yes, sir. So moved, sir.
There's a second. Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I would just like to say, the Airport Commission and their staff, from the beginning of the door to the gates, they are just simply marvelous. They take care of all of these elected officials, you know, and so just kudos to them, and thank y'all so much, and thank y'all for doing what y'all do and not using none of our money. Amen.
Thank you. And our airport continues to improve and continues to look better. So new floors are going down, and our concourse, our new expansion concourse should be opening soon. Items number 52 and 53.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Recuse myself for the purpose of business.
Okay, item number 50, let the record state that Alderwoman Shabazz has recused herself for purposes of business. Item number 52, approval of task work order number 27 with AECom for the FIS HVAC replacement project in the amount of $67,310. And 53, approval of task work order number 25 with AECom for design services for the life cycle replacement of air handler units and fan coil units in the amount of $54,000. Is there a motion?
Sir.
Is there a second? Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, let me see what else we can make happen real quick. Let's go ahead and do 54 as approval of a memorandum of understanding for a Bay Street microsimulation study between the City of Savannah and the Metropolitan Planning Commission. Item number 56 is authorize city manager to grant an easement for connection to a lift station 217 at 1400 Pine Meadow Drive to provide a distribution line to Georgia Power. Item number 56 is authorize city manager to execute amendment number 6 for a city-owned water tower lease agreement with Alltel Communications LLC Verizon located in Automatic District 1.
Mr. Mayor, move for approval of items number 55 and 56.
And 57.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Wait a minute.
want some discussion about
I got 54. Oh, yeah, 54, 55, and 56.
54, want to pull that one out?
You want to put 55, pull 54 out?
Please.
All right, then let's do 55 and 56.
Mr. Mayor?
Just amend your motion.
Amending my motion to items number 55 and 56 as read in the agenda.
Second.
Then properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. We'll come back to it. All right, let's get into these public hearings. No, we're coming back to it. We're coming back to it, yes. I put it back.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right. Item number 10 is petition of Eric Scott and Ashley Scott for a zoning map amendment from RSF 20 to RMF 2-15 for a condition, with the condition for 0.45 acres at 0 Mohawk Street in Automatic District 6. We continued this from August the 13th. The companion item is item number 18.
afternoon, Mayor and City Council. I'm here. My name is Melanie Wilson. I'm the Executive Director and CEO of the Metropolitan Planning Commission. I'm here to present the rezoning request for property located on Mohawk Street. The address is 0 Mohawk Street, and there's a request to change the zoning from RSF 20 to RMF 2-15. The comprehensive plan future land use map shows that request is consistent with the comp plan in that it is residential general, which means that it's residential multifamily. It's RMF 1, RMF 2, and RMF 3, and RM 3 are the zoning districts that fit in that category. The property, as I said, is consistent with the comprehensive plan. This is an aerial view. You can see again that it fronts Mohawk Street, and it is. This is another inlay so that you can get a better view of the property and its relationship to the other properties on Mohawk Street and Apache Avenue. The Planning Commission met and made the recommendation to approve the request to rezone the subject property from RMF 2-15 based on its consistency with the residential general future land use designation and its compatibility with the broader development pattern area, with the condition to limit development to a maximum of 6 units. The MPC staff recommendation is approval of the request to rezone the subject property to RMF 15 based on the consistency with the residential general future land use plan designation and its compatibility with the broader development plan. Are there any questions?
Well, we'll go ahead and go through the public hearing first, and then we'll come back, okay? Thank you very much. So the recommendation is to rezone it to RMF 215 based on its consistency with the residential general future land use designation and its compatibility with the condition of a maximum of 6 units. I have 3 cards of individuals who want to speak. You have 2 minutes to speak after you have given your name and address, and we'll go from there. So I have, is it Ryan? Okay, so we have Ryan, and then Anand, and then Delaney Copley. Okay, so y'all come on up in that order. Ryan, Anand, and Delaney. Is the petitioner here? Okay, where? Okay, all right, Ryan? All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryan. I live at 1025 Mohawk Street. I would just like to yield my time to the Southside Association President, Mr. Rao. That's okay?
We'll allow it. Go ahead. All right. Anand? Anand is next.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Aldermen, and women. My name is Anand Rao. I'm the president of the Southside Neighborhood Association.
There you go.
The president of the Southside Neighborhood Association, and we submitted
Mark.
31.
Go ahead.
We submitted 31 letters of opposition to Mr. Massey about 6 weeks ago. My understanding is that everybody on City Council already has those, and we submitted 21 to MPC before we went before the Metropolitan Planning Commission. With that, I would like to respectfully request that the City Council recognize that the proposed change is inconsistent with the established character and intended use of the surrounding neighborhood. I know Melanie Wilson just got up here and said that it is conducive, but it's with the future land use map or the comprehensive plan moving forward. The protection part of the Metropolitan Planning Commission for the existing character of the neighborhood is being overlooked in this regard. The office and institutional uses that they're using to say we don't live in a residential area are a church, a fire department, and an apartment complex that you have to be ADA disabled to live in. So if I make an accommodation for a disabled development, a multifamily residential development for ADA disabled people to come into our neighborhood, and then it gets used as a pedestal or a forcing function to be told, we don't live in a residential area because there's a church on your street, and you made an accommodation for a disabled multifamily development. These pull at the heartstrings of American society in a way that betrays public trust in what we're trying to do. We want to protect the single-family residential character of our neighborhood, and I hope that you help me do that today. There are several issues in regards to flooding. I have a packet for each of the alderpersons. Mr. Massey, would you mind? So just so you can see the pictures of what this area looks like after a heavy rainfall, you know, we've gotten a lot of rain over the last couple weeks. We went out there and we took some photos. Just want you to be aware of the flood issues that are already on the property and to be aware of all of the adjacent properties on that side of the street already require a French drain for our yards to not be flooded. So 80 feet, 10 inches deep of concrete on what is already a flooded area doesn't bode well for anybody in our neighborhood. They already have them. Do you have any questions of me?
No, I mean, just this is your public comment, so. Okay. All right, thank you. So, well, I do have a question. So, so you're opposing building there, but I mean, regardless of what's built there, the land is still impacted.
The land is flooded currently,
So I mean, if it was a single-family home or a multifamily home, the land is still built on. So the flooding issue is not affected whether it's a single-family dwelling or a multifamily dwelling, right?
No, I don't think that the foundation for 6 townhomes is the same for a single-family residential home,
But I mean,
nor the
it's
parking
still- it's
spaces,
still
nor the
built on,
parking
though.
lot.
Right, it's still built on though.
Yeah, you can say it's going to be developed with that notion, but the parking space for a single-family residential home being a driveway and a townhome 3 bedrooms deep, which can accommodate up to 6 people, and the parking space is needed to accommodate that, I don't think they're the same.
Okay, thank you.
I think they're pretty different.
Thank you. All right, we will now have Delaney Copley. Thank you.
Good to go. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Delaney Copley, and I live at 1027 Mohawk Street, directly adjacent to the property at 0 Mohawk Street. I'm asking the Council to deny the proposed rezoning of 0 Mohawk Street from RSF 20 to RSF 2-15. I want to make it clear that I'm not in any ways opposed to development, multifamily housing, or responsible growth in Savannah. I work in the construction and development industry, and I understand the importance of development and creating additional housing in the city. My concern is with this particular property can be developed under its existing zoning and that the requested increase in density is not compatible with the surrounding block face. The city's own staff report supports my concerns. Under its compatibility analysis, the report states that the central portion of this block, including the subject property, is primarily characterized by single-family detached residences. It then states that an increased development intensity allowed by an RMF 2-15 zoning may alter the predominantly single-family detached character of the immediate block face along Mohawk Street. That is not simply my opinion, that is the city's own assessment. The staff report also states, under its reasonable use analysis, that the property has reasonable use as presently zoned. This rezoning is not necessary to develop the property, and the city's own staff report acknowledges that it may alter the existing single-family character of this block. And while Savannah absolutely needs more housing, that does not mean every property needs to be rezoned for greater density. The question before the council is not whether this property should be developed. It can be and should be as currently zoned, in my opinion. That question is whether a significant increase in density is appropriate on a block face that is primarily single-family in character. In this case, I believe development consistent with the RFS 20 zoning would allow the property to be used while maintaining greater consistency with the established character of the immediate block face. I respect the developer's desire to develop the property, and I respect the city's responsibility to accommodate growth. I'm simply asking the council also respect the investment of the homeowners who already live here and consider whether this particular zoning is necessary or compatible with the existing block face. For those reasons, I respectfully ask you to deny the rezoning of 0 Mohawk Street. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments from anyone here? Their motion to close.
Mr. Mayor, move to close the hearing.
No, it's fine. No, yeah, we'll just say, well, that's not, well, we don't have to do it in the public hearing, do we? You would? Okay. All right. Miss the petitioner?
Good afternoon, Mayor Johnson, members of the council. My name is Eric Scott. I'm a native of Savannah and a resident. My wife, Ashley, and I are the petitioners for 0 Mohawk Street. We're asking to rezone 0.04 acres to build up to 6 townhomes. I want to be specific about what that means because I think there's a picture in some minds that doesn't match what we're proposing. This is a low-scale townhouse community with units that's affordable, a mixture of 1 to 2 story, 1,200 square feet at the max with plenty of green space. Completely fenced, maximum privacy to neighboring properties, not any large buildings, not any tall buildings, similar to what's consistent up and down Mohawk Street. As mentioned, the Mohawk corridor is a mix of apartments, townhomes, churches, fire stations, and some single-family homes. My lot is directly across the street from a 68-unit apartment complex where cars pull in and out right in front of this lot every day. Behind the property, behind the backyard fence is another 144-unit apartment, so we are basically sandwiched in between 2 large developments. We are the only single-family lot on this street that this situation occurs. I understand the concerns that have been raised, and I offer conditions to the neighbors. I'll keep working with immediate neighbors on buffering and design if this rezoning is approved. Savannah says it needs more housing at this scale, and I believe this can be a model for that housing. I respectfully ask for your approval today to allow us the ability to provide more housing to working class people like myself. Thank you.
Thank you. You said there's 6, how many of the 6 units are you proposing to be affordable?
All of them, if I can. My plan is to work with the Savannah Housing Fund, with Martin Fetty, Nita Smith-Dixon, and try to make it work.
Is there, Mr. Attorney or Mr. Manager, are there, this is a rezoning, but obviously are there ways that that can be codified in some way?
Sir, I don't think you could do it today.
Right.
Based upon zoning, but we could work through it. If the project does get rezoned, we can continue to work with that, yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions from the public? From the public? All right, let's make a motion to close the hearing.
Second motion.
And probably moved and seconded that we close the hearing. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. You had a question?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, your mic.
When you say affordable housing, what price range are you talking about?
We're looking at affordable based on HUD standards for the city.
Based on HUD standards?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor had a couple quick.
All right, one moment. Let me get.
About housing, and we have a real estate person that's against it. I just don't understand how we're supposed to fix housing if we have people that look like me who don't normally get an opportunity to fix housing. We say something is wrong with it. And so for me, it's not really about the color now. We're talking about somebody who is working in this community, who is trying to do some good stuff in this community, and we keep saying Savannah first, and here we have Savannah first, and we got people in other districts saying we don't want it. So, you know, I just always try to do what the alderman from any district But we gotta move forward with this, and the people who live over there, y'all gotta find a happy place in y'all heart to make some other stuff happen for other people who wanna own homes, who wanna rent in homes, who wanna do the same thing that y'all wanna do. And so when y'all come in front of us, we gotta equally measure this stuff. We gotta take care of developers, and we gotta take care of homeowners too. And so for us to say up here and say, we don't want it, but you're coming from us, in front of us, and say that you want other stuff that kind of tears down the moral fiber of who we are. Who we are. We're trying to do good stuff in this community, and we're trying to involve people who don't normally get an opportunity to do good stuff, to do better stuff for everybody. And this start for the few people who always get to do these things and line their pockets. And so if I'm gonna sit up here, I wanna equally measure, I wanna be transparent, and I wanna give other people the opportunity to be great. To be great. That's what we're up here for, to make everybody great and not some of the people and the same people all the time. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me say that.
Thank you. Alderwoman Miller Blakely.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had the opportunity to attend the meeting with the residents of that neighborhood. I live in that community along with the petitioner, and I understand what Deanna, is that her name? Delaney, I'm sorry. I had the opportunity to understand what she was saying. The property will be right, I mean, not the property, but the development would be right next door to her house. And how tall are you talking about taking that?
1 story.
1 story, 1 story?
1 story, and then I also mentioned that we'll build an 8-foot tall privacy fence. So the concern that someone can look out of the townhouse house into her house, that wouldn't be there.
Now, when I was at the meeting, it was more than 1 story, so you've changed that to 1 story. Because at the meeting, we were talking almost 2 to 3 stories, if I can remember, and y'all can correct me if I'm right, if I'm wrong. Yeah, I know it was more than 1 story because she did not have a problem with it being 1 story if it was going to be, her concern was folk being able to look over into her home because it was 2 stories. So now you're saying it's 1 story.
I never actually discussed with her the design of the home, so they assume that it's a two-story because it's a townhome. But at the time, I never said anything about 2 or 3-story home.
Okay, because I can vaguely remember it was a townhome, meaning more than 1 story at that particular time. So you're saying now that it's only going to be 1 story?
It's a mix between 1 and 2-story.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But
I live in a 2-story house. I mean, you could put a 2-story house and it's the same situation as well, right?
Oh, no.
All right. I know Alderman Pertee.
I'm gonna let everybody else.
All right.
We'll
go with Alderwoman Lanier, then Alderman Palumbo.
Can you tell me the size of your lot, your properties?
The lot is 100 feet wide and 200 feet deep. So it's almost a half acre.
And as far as Ms. Wilson, Ms. Wilson, I'm sorry to make you get up. As far as the requirement for buffer, the gentleman said that he's going to erect an 8-foot fence. And I don't know if there's a requirement. I know that's plenty high.
The requirement with regards to fencing and buffering would be further addressed when they submit their plans for development.
I'm sorry,
The requirement for the buffering, fence height, will be more specifically addressed when they submit their development plan if this gets approved. But 8-foot high fence is over and beyond what is required. Right. And generally, if you put a fence up, you can do a reduction of landscaping when you do that, or you could do both.
That sounds reasonable. And sir, thank you. So you said that, I'm sort of trying to envision this, so I'm assuming you're going to put the 1 story just adjacent, and then you'll escalate like the missing middle where we want to have some kind of elevation, graduation.
So any home that's closer to Ms. Delaney's property would be a 1-story, and then if we do the 2-story, it would be across the lot. So basically facing our lot, and then you have that fence buffer So it's basically green space, a driveway, the fence, and then her property.
Okay, that answers my questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think I saw Alderwoman Bell.
I think he answered the question. I was a bit concerned about the number of stories, but do tell me though, aren't you doing some other work in the city?
Yes, we just got finished doing 916 MLK.
I'm sorry?
916 MLK Apartments in Center, which is on MLK.
When are we doing the ribbon cutting on that? We ready to go?
For 2 weeks. 916 MLK, I believe, is 16 two-bedroom apartments?
Yes, it is.
For families coming out of homelessness. It's one of our projects, and they've worked with Martin and Anita and team on developing that project as well,
They
which
are
we'll be cutting the
amazing.
ribbon on soon.
Okay. Thank you. You'll finish? All right, Alderman Palumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to thank the petitioner. I wanted to thank the neighbors for coming out to speak on this agenda item. And for a moment, I want to channel my inner land use attorney, Mr. Yellen, to do the best that I can because we've got a petitioner that's representing himself, and I think that says something.
Yes.
That's important and a rare opportunity that neighbors get to work directly with the petitioner on this. If I were your land use attorney, I'd say this site is wedged between two large-scale multifamily developments with another across the street. It's a 15-minute walk to St. Joseph's Hospital. It's a 10-minute walk to the mall. It's right down the street from Mohawk Lake Park. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand your sentiment that you wish for no change, but I truly believe you change by chance or you change by choice. To get a petitioner like this for multifamily housing, it rarely gets better. I understand the standing water conditions on the site, but many of the standards that we have here in the city of Savannah today will largely improve the conditions of the standing water on the site.
Right.
The petitioner here will have to walk a long road, probably improving some decades-old county infrastructure that was originally built, and I applaud them for doing it. So I want you to know that I support your petition and for taking this journey and help the neighbors understand what's happening. Thank you.
Alderman Purty.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This has been a contentious conversation between two groups of people, the petitioner and the neighborhood association, for a while, and it was brought to my attention a while back. I will say a couple of points, and I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Mr. Rao asked me how I was going to vote on this, and I said I'm going to vote in favor of what the community wants or what the neighborhood wants. And I'm looking at some things. We had a workshop this morning. Did y'all pick this piece of paper up right here? 1132 Mohawk. 1132 Mohawk. What do we see? Multifamily housing. Multifamily housing, right? So
Yes.
when I look at Sages, Ms. Wilson, do you have an overview by chance of that site? Can we pull that up? But when we start talking about the integrity of the neighborhood, and I look at the integrity of the south side as a whole, and if you look at the maps, and look at the RSF 6 parcels that are there, there's 10-ish parcels just in that section right there. Everything else is residential multifamily. Now, the word apartments has been thrown around. Mr. Scott, is it your intention that these are going to be for sale or for rent?
They would be for rent.
It would be for rent, okay. So how many parcels and I know it's kind of early to tell, how many parcels were you planning on putting on this piece of property?
6.
6 parcels, okay. So we talk about growing on the south side, and we talk about trying to make this area better for our folks. So I'm conflicted on how I want to handle this today, but I have to handle this what's best for the entire south side community. And as we have navigated through this Southside Legacy project for the past 8 years or so, and we've breathed some life back into it, and now we're working through our neighborhood groups, we have to be smart about this, and we need housing that's affordable, okay? Not only do we need housing that's affordable, and we're still in a housing crisis, but we've seen a number of folks on the south side that have not been able to get into housing, therefore leaving them homeless or roofless in our parks and our areas. So while I appreciate both parties voicing their opinions, today looking at Ms. Delaney's I guess, concerns, are those concerns, if this property is rezoned, are there concerns, these concerns that she has, can you work with her on these? Can you identify areas? Because I know we talked earlier about setbacks and buffers, and we're not into that point yet because you got to come back with another plan if this gets approved. My wish and my goal is, if this does get approved today, that the both of you sit down, and if I have to be a mediator, I'll do it, all right? If we have to bring somebody in for mediation, we'll do that too.
Thank you.
But if it doesn't get approved today, then don't give up, right? Come back with a plan, and let's look at what we can do. There are some issues with flooding in that area, and we manage flooding through smart development and through our city codes, and our city has one of the strongest codes out there as far as building is concerned. I'm sure you know that and appreciate that. So we should be able to mitigate flooding if this gets passed. I am going to support this today, but if I support it and it passes, there's gonna have to be some very stringent requirements, okay? I can't in good faith argue that we need more housing on the south side and that we are in a homeless crisis and we're in a housing crisis and then deny housing that's needed. We're talking about the integrity of a neighborhood on the south side, and that neighborhood, I'm looking, and I drive that way every day, and I look at the neighborhood, and it is surrounded by multi-family housing. Does not mean apartments, does not just mean apartment complexes. There's townhomes, there's cottage homes. What I would ultimately like to see is at some point for folks to be able to generate generational wealth through home ownership. You get my drift, what I'm putting down there?
Generational wealth.
Okay, so
How about that part?
with that intention, I move to approve this item. I believe it's on second reading, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part
It is.
with, yeah.
Let me just, before we, and I mean, I think, you know, for us, it becomes difficult because I think we are charged with being able to preserve what is, but we're also charged with looking toward our future by examining what's happening in our present. Each day I'm contacted by someone that talks about the availability of housing that is affordable for them. Some of them work for the city of Savannah. Stuff just costs too much. We also recognize as this continues that we can only achieve affordability really through density. You got to go up. And everybody is not meant, everybody does not desire, everybody doesn't have the means to be in single family homes. And everybody wants affordable housing, nobody wants it in their neighborhood. And so I think for council, you know, it comes to a time that we have to, number one, make some very bold decisions as it relates to it. Either we want affordable housing, we're gonna do the things to get there, or we're not. And our citizens reap the consequences of that. But then at the same time, being able to provide some predictability and reliability for those who have invested in our neighborhoods and make them as they are. And I think that's a function that staff has to do to help to maintain that, because obviously we all fear the unknown. And so the reliability, the predictability of a lived experience, I think, is extremely important. So I think, you know, we're going to have these opportunities that come up before us, and I think we just have to really be very thoughtful to get to where we need to be. Neighborhoods are neighbors because they have neighbors. And so, you know, you're going to have neighbors. It just depends on how they come and in what quantity they come as well. So I heard there was a motion.
Could I also add on there too that with the current trends we're seeing in building, we're not seeing a lot of single-family homes built anymore.
No.
It's all townhomes, cottages, it's what's affordable. And just because we say affordable housing, we might even talk about housing that's affordable.
No, so I'm talking about housing affordable. Yeah.
For anybody. I've had, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I wanna tell you this, I've had police officers living out of cars going to their job every day, right? Because they can't afford houses in Savannah, and teachers working 2 and 3 jobs trying to put food on the table. I am not going to be part of that problem. I'm going to be part of that solution.
Hello.
And I am comfortable with working through this. but I cannot, in my good conscience and faith, deny something like this.
Well, I mean, even further than that, I mean, you think about it, we have people, we have a huge hospitality industry, and people want to live at least somewhere close to where they work. You know, I mean, when you have to travel a bunch of places to get to where you work, is not very cool as well. People want places to raise their families. We trust that they'll be good neighbors, and I think, you know, we have to continue to harp on the livability piece. But there was a motion, there was a second, and that would be fine. Yes. Okay. Well, all right. All right, you're actually recused from the discussion as well, right? Were you in here? I was in here. Okay. All right, so Alderman Leggett is recusing himself from item number 18. And
For
this
what
is being
reason?
requested- Ma'am, sir?
For what reason do you recuse yourself? Is
You
there
have
a
to-
reason?
You need to ask him. So, item number 18 is on first and second reading. Make the motion for first and second, please.
I thought we did the first, or did we just?
No, it was just a motion.
Mr. Mayor, move that the first reading be considered the second ordinance placed upon its patches and passed.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that the first reading be considered the second is ordinance placed on its passage and pass from item number 18. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose Mayor
Motion
Johnson because I
passes.
was at that meeting and I
Okay.
do understand what this young lady was saying when I asked the question.
Okay, motion passes 7-1. All right, and then I think you have to ask Alderman Leggett, who has left the room, about his reason for recusal. Okay? All right, moving on to item number
When
11.
you recuse yourself from an agenda item,
You need to address that with the alderman.
well, I'm asking for decorum.
You need to ask the alderman.
He's right there.
You need to ask the alderman. So would you go and discuss that with him, please?
I mean, call you.
Go and discuss that with me.
Well, I'll
Call
discuss
you.
that outside with you.
That's the same kind of entitlement
Yeah,
that
he
I'm
should,
talking
I
about.
think it has to be a matter of record.
But Alderman, is there a conflict that you're recusing yourself?
Conflict that I recuse myself from because we have the same family members.
All right, come say that to the record, please.
Alderman Dietrich Leggett, the reason I recused myself because me and Mr. Scott have the same family members. I didn't want it to become an issue down the road.
Understood. Okay, thank you. All right, so that's the reason. Okay. Item number 11 is petition of Josh Yellen on behalf of Cabretta 40 Star LLC, 207 East 31st Street, Starlin LLC, Carolyn Martha Braunschweig, Starlin 302, and Azalea Row Realty LLC for future land use map amendment from traditional neighbor to traditional commercial of 0.62 acres at 18, 19, 20, 23, 25, and 101 East 40th Street and 2309 Drayton Street. This is item number 11 and 12, as well as the corresponding items of 19 and 20.
Melanie Wilson, Executive Director and CEO for the Metropolitan Planning Commission. This is a request for a flume map amendment from traditional neighborhood to traditional commercial. The properties are located within the Streetcar Historic Overlay District. The request is submitted in conjunction with an application for a zoning map amendment, so I'm going to hopefully cover both of these items. If you decide to support this item, you would vote for this first, and then you would vote for the zoning second, so that I don't have to repeat the same thing for the zoning map amendment. As I said, the properties are located within the Streetcar Historic Overlay District. The surrounding area is predominantly single-family residential and includes a mix of small commercial buildings and vacant residential lots. There's a major commercial corridor along Bull Street, which you can see here. Let me see if I've got a better map. Along Bull Street, that is located west of the petitioner's properties, and there's a major commercial properties in an active railroad train track that runs east along 41st Street and Drayton Street, and East 40th Street and Abercorn Street intersections. Again, those properties are also within the historic Streetcar overlay district. As you can see from this flume map, the highlighted areas are the properties that are in question. In order for the applicant to move forward with the zoning request, there needs to be a flume map amendment. The zoning map is adjacent.
All right.
Overview of the future land use amendment. It aligns with the surrounding land uses and the character of the area. There's a large percentage of properties that are currently within the TC flume designation that surround the petitioner's properties. The traditional commercial future land use designation offers a more suitable range of commercial and mixed uses than the traditional neighborhood flume designation. And with that, again, the flume amendment also enables adaptive reuse of opportunities for the existing structures, and it expands the uses available to the property. So it's given the applicant more flexibility on how they use their property. The amendment is consistent and compatible with the goals and intent of the adopted comprehensive plan. Just a very quick of an overview of permitted uses. As you see, that the permitted uses allowed by right within the TC1 zoning district differ from the existing TN1 zoning district. Of course, that's included in the staff report, but the biggest difference is the intensity. One of the challenges that this property kind of ran into is that it didn't sit at the corner of a property, at the corner of a road, which if it did, they wouldn't have to go through this process. There's a large percentage of properties that are currently zoned TC1 that surround the petitioner's property. And again, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the requested flume amendment from the traditional neighborhood to traditional commercial. The staff recommended that the petitioner's request be approved to traditional neighborhood and traditional commercial. I might add that during the Planning Commission meeting, the applicant offered to further limit the uses allowed because we did have some neighborhood opposition, and I'm sure that Mr. Yellen will go over that briefly.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. This is a public hearing that I now declare open. I have 3 cards: Wendy Picone, Linda Van Apeldoorn, I hope I didn't mispronounce that, and Matt Beatty, in that order. You come up, you have, you're going to go now, you reserve?
It's a question. Do you want us to discuss the future land use map amendment and the rezoning at the same time?
Yeah, I think we'll handle those together. So okay. you reserve, or you want to?
I'll reserve my time. I'm happy to let Ms. Linda speak.
All right, Wendy Picone, Linda Apeldoorn. Okay, is Wendy Picone in here? All right, so Miss Wendy, you're first. Miss Linda, you're second. Matt, you clean up. You have 2 minutes from the point that you introduce your name and your address, and then I'll give you a really gentle reminder in 2 minutes that your time is up, okay?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wendy Picone. I live at 18 East 39th Street. I'm a homeowner. I've been here for 10 years, and I am representing myself and also another neighbor, and we both have sent opposing letters on this request. Basically, it is for the issues we've had since we have lived here in regards to parking, infrastructure, sewage, trash, noise that we have been dealing with since we have lived here, and nothing has been done. In regards to the neighbor that I'm representing, he sent a letter and he said that he is opposed to this, and what he wanted specifically to say is that this request is not a simple request concerning the use of an isolated parcel. It is a request to establish a commercial zoning district immediately adjacent to an existing residence with no provision for a sound barrier to separate the proposed commercial property from the residence, and no proposed plan for noise abatement or traffic solutions. Additionally, there is no lane separating the residential property on 39th Street from the proposed commercial properties on 40th Street, increasing possible issues related to placements for trash and delivery vehicles. For this reason set forth, the requested amendments should be denied. The council should also evaluate the proposed zoning, not merely by considering commercial uses as appropriate somewhere in the surrounding area, but whether TC1 commercial zoning is an appropriate destination for property immediately adjoining an existing residence. The proposed change would move the zoning boundary between my residential property and the subject property from a traditional, neighborhood classification to a traditional commercial classification. That is a material change in the intensity and character of the land use relationship of my property line. A zoning decision should be reasonably accounted for the relationship between the proposed use and the existing uses immediately surrounding the property. Here, the most directly affected surrounding use is not theoretically, it is my home.
All right, thank you very much. And if there are issues, ma'am, Ms. Picone, of city services that you addressed, city manager right there, Ms. Coleman, let's get those, because regardless of this, you should have city services that are reflected. So issues of trash or sewer, those things, 311 is the number to call. So, okay, well, Mr. Manager, with your permission, if Ms. Coleman. All right, I'm going back to the sewer and the trash and these things, so I want to make sure those are addressed. So Ms. Coleman is going to have those addressed, because those are services we provide, you pay for them. So we want to make sure you're getting those, okay? All right, Miss Linda?
Thank you, Linda Van Apeldoorn, 502 East 35th Street, and I'm here today representing the Thomas Square Neighborhood Association. The Thomas Square Neighborhood Association approves the changes from TN2 to TC1 with one caveat. TSNA would like to have non-owner occupied STVRs removed as an option for the current building owners as well as subsequent building owners. TSNA conducted surveys of the neighborhood residents and business owners in 2017 and again in 2026. The vast majority of respondents were against non-owner occupied STVRs in the Thomas Square area. The respondents' primary desire was to keep Thomas Square a residential neighborhood where the homes and businesses are owned by the people that live there. Limiting STVR use in TN2 zoning to owner-occupied properties has been a successful method for keeping this problematic use under control. Changing these priorities from TN2 to TC1 as is would release them from successful restriction. There is also a concern about the growing trend that is happening in popular tourist destinations like Savannah. This is the trend of micro-hotels. These hotels house large groups of people and turn into party palaces. And since these properties are contiguous, they lend themselves perfectly to this scenario. At the TSNA membership meeting on May 26, two building owners acting as representatives for this group gave a presentation on why they wanted the zoning change. They were asked directly about turning their buildings into STVRs. The response was, "We've all actually had this conversation, and in all seriousness, none of us have plans to do so." Another member of the group spoke from the audience to say that we are actively promoting our building, not as an Airbnb. These comments are documented on our YouTube channel recording of this meeting. Considering the statements of the petitioners at our membership meeting, removing STVRs as an option should not be a hardship. If the petitioners refuse to do so, this begs the obvious question, why not? Thank you for your consideration.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Mr. Beatty.
Thank you. Good afternoon, City Council. My name is Matt Beatty. I'm one of the applicants and owner of 2309 Drayton Street. This building had been vacant and in disrepair for 10 or more years until I bought it in February and started rehabbing it. My goal is to return this building so that it's contributing to the community. To maximize the chance of success at contributing to the community, I'm asking you to approve our application for TC1 zoning with no conditions. Everyone we've discussed this request with has agreed that this block has evolved into a commercial one. They all support the zoning change to TC1. However, Thomas Square Neighborhood Association has requested a special condition on the zoning to restrict non-owner occupied short-term rentals. This is the official position of TSNA and the board, but it is not unanimous among all members. I am a member of TSNA. Along with a couple of the other applicants, several of our members have also submitted letters of support for our application. We've had multiple discussions with TSNA to understand and address their concerns. To the best of my understanding, there are no unique circumstances or reasons specific to our application that they're requesting this condition. Despite this, we did find some common ground and offered a compromise. They seem most concerned with micro-hotels and party palaces, and I agree that these should not be allowed. We offered, in writing, to restrict these, but did not get a response. In terms of what I intend to do with the building, I have no plans to operate a short-term rental. I plan to rent the upstairs unit as a commercial or office space or to a long-term tenant. With that being said, marketing conditions and community needs can change, so I don't think it's appropriate to add special conditions based on this snapshot in time. I'll also add that my downstairs unit will not have a bathtub or shower, so the topic is not applicable to it. Community engagement and feedback is important, and we've taken it seriously. I'd like to highlight that every owner on my block is either an applicant or wrote a support letter. Several tenants on the block also wrote support letters. We may be under one application, but we are 4 different owners in full agreement on this request. We are each other's immediate neighbors, will be impacted most by this application, and are all in agreement. We are locals too. I've seen Steve several times at the Rainbow House preparing it for local health and wellness professionals. Brent works just a couple blocks down the street. Carolina lives in her properties, and I walk this block several times each week on my way to the F45 gym. Together, we're committed to improving and making the best of this block. In conclusion, most everyone agrees that TC1 zoning is most appropriate because this block has evolved into a commercial corridor. I'm respectfully requesting that you approve our application to give us all of the same property rights as other commercial property owners. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the floor? Going once, going twice. Their motion to close.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we
Second.
close.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion, passes. Let's open back up. I forgot about Mr. Yellen. Motion open.
Mr. Mayor, move to open the hearing.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Matt was stating, we are representing 4 different property owners. They're all in attendance here. They can wave, they can stand up, but they are all local individuals who own the properties on this block. This request, and as even TSNA stated, what we're trying to do is have flexibility here. This site is zone TN1. We are trying to rezone it to TC1 because we are wedged between 2 commercial corridors. We have Bull Street and Starland on one side. We have Abercorn and Lincoln on the other side. With the train tracks where they're existing, this has become the cut-through walking corridor for late-night partiers when they're going from Starland over to Abercorn Street. And that's not a bad thing. It's a vibrant neighborhood, but it makes this block difficult. For these residents, Carolina lives in her house on that block. What they are wedged up against is 2 surface parking lots. It is a surface parking lot, and then it's the former Save-A-Lot. And so while the map shows that some of the sites are zone TN1 on their block, those are used for surface parking lots in furtherance of commercial. And so they're trying to establish this as a commercial corridor. We had successful meetings with the Thomas Square Neighborhood Association, and as was mentioned, we did offer up some concessions. We were trying to eliminate some of the uses that would be allowed in the area, but frankly, what they were looking for was flexibility here. And so what we did offer to the neighborhood association, and we emailed, was that we would not have liquor stores, we would not have hotels and motels, we would not have vehicle repair and service, no car washes, no pawn shops, no check cashing establishments will be permitted on site. Some of the concern that we heard from meeting with the neighborhood association was that if we allow this use, it will become a party block of STVRs. We are trying to eliminate that by stating that we will not recombine any of the parcels to allow for a consolidated use, and we will not further subdivide the parcels to allow for more STVR certificates than would be permitted. We're also committing to retain and adaptively reuse the existing structures, and we will never seek to demolish the properties consistent with the streetcar overlay and the comp plan's adaptive use principles. And I do want to be clear that we discussed before the meeting, if it's this board's recommendation and this board's will to eliminate the STVR use, we can agree to that. But we do believe that this block is very unique, that this is not a block where we're trying to bring in a use that's out of place or uses that are out of place. We are wedged between this commercial corridor, and what they are asking for is flexibility. They were very clear and transparent when they spoke to the board and to the neighborhood association that yes, they do not currently have any plans for short-term vacation rentals for this property. What they are stating is that in the future, if there's a vacancy, if they need to pivot, they'd like the possibility to backfill their spaces to avoid vacancies, to keep this block vibrant and with people walking the corridor and actively using the street. But we just wanted to have the conversation with council about that point. We're not trying to be a hindrance or a roadblock here. We had very nice meetings with the TSNA about this, but we wanted to have y'all weigh in on it because we know it is an interesting petition. But as they stated, they are the 4 or 5 property owners here. They have letters of support from every single property owner on their block and the tenants that are there too, because the tenants that are there are commercial businesses. The one residential home that's there is Carolina, and she is here as one of the applicants in support of this petition. And so staff had recommended approval of this request, MPC had recommended approval of this request, and we do respectfully request that you approve of the rezoning today to TC1, but I'm also happy to answer any questions that y'all may have. As I said, the applicants are here, they are local, they can answer questions as well, and we appreciate y'all's time today.
Thank you. All right, there's motion to close.
Mr. Mayor, make
Yes.
a motion we close. the-
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Any comments by council?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you are the petitioners?
Representing.
Yes.
That's different.
Yes, we are. So,
And
so
so,
the petitioners are sitting here, they're the property owners.
yes.
Yes.
And so, Mr. Yellen, and to the petitioners, this is 4 houses, a short block. And so we want to set precedents like this. We want to give homeowners an opportunity to control what's going on in their environment. They can walk all day long, but where are they going to park?
Yes, ma'am. And
That's
so
the question.
it is the blessing and a curse that is the surface parking lots
Right.
adjacent to them. Those parking lots are pay to park. And so for any commercial use that comes in, these sites are within the overlay where the parking is exempt, but there is surface parking immediately adjacent to all of
So the
these.
residents, the 4 residents, are they parking off the street, or do they have like garages where they can park?
So as the neighbor mentioned, this site is unique, that there is no lane. I'm not sure how in Savannah's grid pattern that this site has no lane. There's a billboard and a surface parking lot adjacent on the rear. And on the other side, there is no lane as well. And so everyone traditionally has been utilizing street parking, but now they are using the surface parking that exists immediately adjacent.
We got to ask that Oglethorpe. I don't know what he was thinking about,
Yes.
right?
It's 1733, we need to change this one, okay? Short-
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Yellen, are we all in agreement that everybody is actually in support of this? Everybody's in support of it, but the only thing is the neighborhood association is charging that they don't want it to be any non-owner occupied STVRs as an available option.
That's correct. The neighborhood association agreed TC1, MPC staff agreed TC1, MPC board agreed TC1, we agreed TC1. The only topic of conversation that we've had is about these STVRs, and that, like I said, we spoke to the applicants earlier. We wanted to have the flexibility. We weren't coming in here and trying to ram this down anyone's throat. We think that this block is unique because of the intense commercial surrounding it. And if STVRs are not going to be permitted there, where are they going to be permitted? In an already commercial block with train tracks and parking, that this is a good location for STVRs. But we understand the concern of the neighborhood 100%, which is why we offered the concessions. And so we were here because we wanted to have the conversation with you all as to what your prerogative would be on this issue.
Last council, we had a conversation about the extension of the short-term vacation rental ordinance. It was extended in 2019 to Victory Drive. Mr. City Manager, if we pass this today with conditions, is there an opportunity for the public with the neighborhood association to come back to make a change to the ordinance? Because they're asking for, in the future, if they'll have the opportunity to make it STVR.
It might be a better question for the city attorney, but I would imagine if you put a condition on this zoning that short-term vacation rental or was not allowed as a condition of the zoning, then in the future, if the property owners wanted to put short-term vacation rental, they would have to seek a rezoning or an entitlement to that and come back through the MPC process to take away that condition on their zoning. The city attorney is giving a thumbs up for those listening at home.
Mr. Attorney, would you please weigh in on that, please?
He's correct.
Wait 1 second. Alderwoman Miller Blakely, Alderwoman Bell, then back to Alderwoman Bryan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm looking at all these properties, and I'm very, very familiar with this area. So you're telling me that they want to go from a traditional neighborhood to traditional commercial? And I'm looking at all of these homes. And it's right there by where the paint company used to be on Whitaker and, Drayton and 40th. So how are we turning all of these homes into commercial? Obviously, they will be STVRs.
So happy to address that. So both the TN and TC are mixed-use districts already. Every zoning classification within the Mid-City Streetcar District is by definition a mixed-use district that allows for residential and for commercial. So by zoning these sites to TC1 today, we are not eliminating any residential uses. We are adding the possibility of expanded commercial uses, but it still remains a district that permits residential.
Okay, let me ask you this, because you're talking about number 18, 19, 20, 23, 25, and 101 East 40th Street. You want to make all of those commercial?
Yes, ma'am. Consistent with, as if you can see the maps that I moved back and
Let me tell you, he wants they want the ability to, you have commercial uses for them, right? Which right now you're not allowed to have, right?
Correct. Right. And so it's mixed use. There can be residential within that commercial district. There can be commercial within the commercial district. What we're asking for is the flexibility here to do both. For our corner lots, they do have plans. Those sites have been used for commercial in the past. Perhaps they needed the upzoning back then, but one of the proposals is for more of a health spa-oriented use. Matt's proposal is going to have ground floor commercial with upper story office space. This is consistent with how this block has operated, and it's become very difficult to operate this block in a residential manner because of the street cut-through, because of the trains, because of the lack of lane access. It has become difficult, but we're not.
The trains have, what is that, silent at a certain time throughout the day, so the train.
It started at 38th Street.
38th Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're not saying that we want to eliminate residential. I want to be clear there. We're asking.
I can't hear him, excuse me.
I'm sorry if I cut someone
Go
off on this
ahead.
side. We're not trying to eliminate the residential. We were trying to add additional uses so that these properties can remain vibrant.
And the neighborhood association president, you all are not in agreement with this?
I don't want to speak for them, but I think they
No,
agreed.
I was asking her.
They agreed on the rezoning. They were against the short-term vacation rental aspect. And
I think.
Non-owner occupied?
Let me say this for the record, since she's out of mic range, that they had no problem with the rezoning provided that it prohibited non-owner occupied STVRs, correct?
Correct. And that was the conversation that we wanted to have today about the uniqueness of this block.
Right. And you're also saying that, if it goes there, you wanted the flexibility, but you could live with it.
Yes, sir.
Alderwoman Bell?
No. Briefly, I was, under normal circumstances, just to hear this kind of proposal, Josh, and thank you for your presentation and for the community residents who've come forth as well, I would probably be hesitant to agree with this or to go along with this because of all the discussions we continue to have about housing and, the lack of housing in the city and trying to increase the availability of housing. However, since as I heard one of my colleagues say she was visual, I think it was Linda, so am I. So I went to this site And I will tell you that it is not the traditional residential neighborhood that it might have been several years ago. And I heard the residents laugh when somebody said about the quiet hour for the train. I live in that area, and I will tell you that we are still bothered by the train. This street, this particular block has changed, and the properties that are being requested to go from traditional residential to traditional commercial. I like the idea because of what is happening in the block. There's just so many commercial, Starling, and there's so many commercial uses, and the walk-in traffic at night. They tell me it starts at 5 o'clock. So it's not the traditional residential neighborhood that we've known in prior years. So in spite of the fact that I'm trying to push for residential housing across the city, this is not one of the uses.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm in favor of it.
Alderwoman. Please, your microphone.
So you have spoken kind of thoroughly with the president and the residents, right? And so he's offered some requirements. Why can't we just put in place his requirements and move on from this?
Well, that's up to us.
All right. So can we close the hearing? I mean,
The hearing's closed. We're just waiting on a motion.
Oh, yes, definitely. Where we at? Come on.
Alderman
Dietrich?
Leggett?
Yes, sir. We at number 11. Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I ask that we accept the petition of
This will
Josh.
be, it'll be 19.
That's 11 and 19, right?
It'll be 19 and 20.
Can we run in
And
the
they have on first and second reading.
So you got to make the first reading this thing. Here's your paper.
I got it.
You got it?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. The petition of Josh Yellen on behalf of Cabrera Ford Star LLC 207 of 39th Street, Starland LLC, Carolyn Martha, I don't want to mess up her name, and at Starland 302 Incorporated, and Exalia Road Realty LLC for the future land use map Flume. I ask Mr. Mayor that we accept the petition with conditions. I move that the first reading be considered a second and the ordinance be passed upon its passage and passed.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that item number 19, the petition of Josh Yellen on behalf of Cabrera Ford Star LLC et al. For a future land use map amendment from traditional neighborhood to traditional commercial. Were there conditions?
With the conditions,
Recommended.
the recommendation that, but the non-owner occupied STV is available to use.
Okay.
Only with the conditions that were given by the neighborhood association.
Can we get those in writing, please, so that we need them in writing?
I'm good?
Yeah.
Because you need me to
First, all right, I'm just trying to, I'm getting wide-eyed looks from everybody.
My question was, should the conditions be attached to the future land use amendment or to the rezoning?
And as a matter of fact, I was going to say, you've got to do two votes. One for the
Right.
future land use amendment, that's
Which
first.
right.
And then the rezoning is second.
With the
On
conditions
rezoning
attached.
needs to have the conditions added to it. And Mr. Yellen had several items that they proffered as part of the rezoning, and that was what he was going to read into the record of what those items were so that you can attach them to his rezoning.
All right, so item number 19 is for the future land use map, which is, it's been properly moved and seconded. The first reading, because the second is on its place upon its passage and pass. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 20 is a motion that the first reading be considered the second is on its place upon its passage and pass of the zoning map amendment to rezone 0.62 acres at 18, 19, 20, 23, 25, and 101 East 40th Street and 2309 Drayton Street from TN2 to TC1 with condition, right?
Yes, sir.
The condition that it cannot be used.
To approve the zoning change but remove the non-owner occupied STV as an available option.
Understand, sir?
And those agreed by the petitioner.
And as agreed by, right, Mr. Yellen? It's agreed by the petitioner.
Sorry, I did
Not happily, but you agree with it.
But I did not hear what sorry, I was talking to. the
Basically,
executive
we're
director.
approving it with conditions, with the non-occupied, non-owner occupied SPTVR, removing that, and with your concurrence.
So our conversation was, we offered the conditions as it related to one or the other. I can confer with them if they're happy entertaining both. Our conditions were a response to the Thomas Square Neighborhood Association condition. And so what we were saying was we are fine with the non-owner occupied STVR restriction if that's the will of council.
So noted. Good. All right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, is there a second? Oh, you're not on. You're not on.
Make sure the clerk is getting this information, because he's kind of shaking his head, and Mr. Bates is in agreement with what he's saying, so that we can move past this, Mr. Mayor.
Well, the attorney is good. The clerk is now good.
I think I got it, yep.
Okay, so the first reading be considered the second. Ordinance placed upon its passage and passed. All in favor indicate by saying, with conditions, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose.
Motion passes 7-1. All right. We all good, right? All right, we understood what we did. All right. So moving on, we go back to hearings. We're now on items number 13 and 14. Petition of Semil Amir Yavis for a future land use map amendment from traditional neighborhood to judicial commercial of 0.04 acres at 1108 Abercorn Street in Automatic District 2. And then 14 is a zoning map amendment from TN1 to TC1 of 0.04 acres at 1108 Abercorn Street.
Okay, good afternoon. We're getting a workout today.
Yeah.
We've got a Flume land use amendment request. The petitioner is requesting an amendment to the land use map from traditional neighborhood to traditional commercial to support proposed amendment to allow a mixed-use building, which would allow for him to have a retail gift shop and an upper floor dwelling unit. Right now, the district that he's located in does not support that, so that's why he's asking for the Flume amendment. The site is currently vacant. This request was submitted in conjunction with the rezoning, so if you don't mind, I want to do both of them at the same time from a presentation standpoint. As you can see, the property location, actually, from the Flume map, it's at the corner of Park Lane and Abercorn Street. And this is really a unique one in that if this were on, when the ordinance was written, there was no discussion about having a lane. That kind of changes how the land use is reviewed. So that's one of the challenges that this applicant had with regards to moving forward with this request. Within the city of the Savannah zoning ordinance, the property has to be consistent with the comp plan before you can move forward with the rezoning. The applicant at the time of this request offered for this to be used for upper story residential and a gift shop or first floor retail only. So they removed several of the uses as part of their application. Background notes again, the property is currently vacant. If relief is granted, several standards was granted again in 2025 by the Zoning Board of Appeals. And this is important because that relief will go with this property. The proposal will require relief from development standards. The application has been submitted. The applicant does intend to match the footprint of what was previously approved, so they're not going to increase the size of what was previously approved. But new relief is required if the zoning is approved. A COA will be required, so this will have to go to the historic boards. The proposed ground floor, as I said, will be used for retail, gift shop only, and that right now in the TN1 zone is only permitted on a corner lot. That's why he's having to come in. Non-residential uses shall be located on corner lot and abut a street that is classified as a collector or grader. Right now, this is on a lane. This is the concept design as proposed by the applicant. Again, this has already been submitted for review because this is what was used for the BZA. The action that the MPC took was to recommend approval to request of this requested flume amendment from traditional neighborhood to traditional commercial, and the staff recommended approval of the request to amend the flume to traditional commercial. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Again, as we previously had, please vote on the flume first. If that passes, then you vote on the rezoning.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilson. All right, any public comments regarding this item? I'm declaring this public hearing open. Going once? Going twice? Speak now, if ever hold your peace.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move to close the hearing.
please.
Second
Second.
motion.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. What is your pleasure, council? I think this was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, actually, we accept the this petition of,
All right.
I want to say his name.
Moving to item number 21, it will be on first and second.
Yes, sir.
For the change to the future land use map from TN to TC, and then we would go to the zoning map amendment.
Okay, well, Mr. Mayor, I got a couple of, I got a letter from the Neighborhood Association. They didn't have a problem with with the same, basically the same thing from the Neighborhood Association, from the Victorian Neighborhood Association. They say they support the whole thing. The only thing, they just didn't want it to be an issue because they didn't want it to be a short-term vacation rental there either, and also they didn't want it also to, they already have a highly problematic convenience store down the street, so they already had conversations with them. They just wanted to make sure we put it in the record also.
Okay, so we can change the future use map, and if you want to attach a condition to your motion for the zoning, we could do that.
Mayor Johnson,
Yes.
what did you just say, Alderman Leggett, about the convenience store?
Yeah, they said a convenience store, this location is next door to a highly problematic convenience store at the block south of another. And they say they hold that the future use of the additional convenience store would increase density such that it would be a detriment to a problematic store that's there right now. And STV use of our district is overburdened by STVRs, and the legal and illegal STVRs is impacting the residential quality of life, increasing property value and taxes are alike. Converting yet another long-term housing unit to a short-term vacation rental is not something that they support now or in the future.
Oh, thank you.
That's from the Victorian Neighborhood Association.
All right, so what's your motion, Alderman Leggett?
So my motion, Mr. Mayor, is I move that the first reading be considered the second, and ordinance placed upon its passage and pass.
That's for item number 21 for the future land use map amendment, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, been
Second,
properly
sir.
moved and seconded. The first reading be considered the second, so ordinance placed upon its passage and pass. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 22, this would be where it would be appropriate to add any conditions.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. We accept the petition from the applicant for a zoning map amendment of TN1, traditional neighborhood, to TC, traditional commercial, at 1108 Abercorn Street, with conditions that it is not turned into a short-term vacation rental.
Second.
Oh, the first reading needs to be considered second.
So I move that the first reading be considered the second, and the ordinance placed upon its passage and pass.
Second.
Second, is that a non-owner occupied STV?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then make sure. On item number 22, the first reading be considered the second, and ordinance placed upon its passage and pass for the zoning map amendment with the attached condition that it is not utilized as a non-owner occupied short-term vacation rental. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose.
Motion passes 7-1. 6-1. Thank you. Well, Alderman Pertee, how you vote on this? What is it? Well, I don't know. He came in smiling, so do you wish to vote on this?
No.
Oh, don't worry about it. Okay. All right. So that's 6-1, correct? All right. Thank you very much. Now we're moving on to item number 16. Petition of Josh Yellen again on behalf of RM Savannah Investment Properties LLC for zoning map amendment from RSF 6 to BN Neighborhood Business for 10602, 10612, and 10620 White Bluff Road in Automatic District 4.
Good afternoon, Melanie Wilson, Executive Director and CEO of the Metropolitan Planning Commission. Once again, you've got another item with 2 actions that you need to take. The first is a flume amendment, and then the second, if this passes, will be the rezoning. This is a request from the flume amendment to go from residential, suburban, single-family to commercial neighborhood.
Yep.
As you can see by this map, this property is surrounded by single-family residential. You can see that on the flume map, and you can also see that as part of the zoning map with the RSF 6 surrounding the property. You do have O&I, but that's across a divided roadway. Oh, I'm sorry. This blue, I wish I could blow that up. It's cultural events. I think that's a church. I've got an overview, but it's a cultural property. Yes, White Bluff Presbyterian. Thank you. Again, with regards to the flume map amendment, as you can see, again, it's surrounded by RSF 6. It's general residential, and you can see from the flume map as well as the zoning that it's all surrounded by residential. And there's an active neighborhood that is in that community. Now, one of the things I do is I hate these concept plans because once the zoning and anything happens, the applicant can put anything up there. I think that's happened in a couple of your districts where people have come in with nice plans and they've changed it. But theoretically, this is potentially what could happen if this item is approved with regards to the rezoning request. Looking at the property, as you can see, White Bluff Road, single-family residences surrounding it, and across the street, you've got commercial. You've got a dental property. You've got some other commercial as well. The request for the land use plan amendment action taken by the MPC was for approval. The staff recommended denial, and the reason is that the property is surrounded by active single-family neighborhood. The existing zoning, the existing pattern with regards to land use that we would look at did not really support changing this to a more intense use. However, we did follow that if this were to get approved, the business neighborhood would be appropriate. This property was noticed and to the adjacent neighbors, and the applicant had a meeting with the neighborhood, or at least they had scheduled a meeting with the neighborhood. I'm not sure yet if they were able to meet with them or not because we haven't heard back from them. Again, this property is located within the suburban commercial character area. So this one was a tricky one because you're kind of in the middle of this transition area. So that was the zoning, that was the action taken by the board for the land use map amendment. The action taken for the zoning was approval by the Planning Commission, and again, denial from the planning staff for the reasons that I stated. You've got a stable residential area across the street. It just happens to be close to a busy road. The staff felt from doing our analysis that this property still could be redeveloped for multifamily because that would support some type of multifamily housing versus just it becoming a commercial property. And again, what I will do is just leave up this aerial map so that you can see in case Josh wants to use that for his discussion. Again, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. Does anyone, I don't have any cards for this one. Are there any comments regarding this item? This is similar to the other ones, in which there is a flume, and then if the flume passes, then the zoning map amendment. Going once, going twice,
Mr. Mayor, move to close the hearing.
Second motion.
properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Items, corresponding items is item number, is it 23 and 24?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what is your pleasure concerning this?
Question.
Thank
Yes.
you, Mr. Mayor.
Well, 1 second. Who's that question? Alderwoman Lanier and then Alderwoman Miller Blakely. Go ahead.
Ms. Wilson, please. Could you please tell me what was the reason that the board differed in their opinion? You all did not recommend, but they did, so what made them go adverse?
As I indicated, you know, when staff get these applications, we kind of look at it purely from an analytical standpoint of, does this make sense based on the road network, based on whether there was still a reasonable use of the property, versus changing it to a business. Again, this is one of the few areas that is zoned for single-family housing. This area also, we felt, could support, you know, a different type of multifamily in order to address some of the affordability concerns that you all have had. So when we looked at it, we did not feel that it warranted changing the land use plan to have another business commercial along a roadway. The other thing that we try to be very mindful about is not treating strip corridors, because you don't want everything on a main street, like this is White Bluff, to be commercial. You want to have some breakup on it. When this item got up to the Planning Commission, as you know, they get to hear additional information, and they got additional information. They got additional information from Mr. Yellen, and they got to, you know, hear from the applicant. That's why I showed you the concept design that they wanted to look at putting on that property. We've talked with them about, you know, if they do that, being very mindful about just runoff and water, because there's a few development issues that would come with developing a property that's 2 stories when the houses back there are 1 story. So we look at all of that.
Okay.
But the Planning Commission felt that in light of the amount of traffic, in light of the developer's concept plan that was submitted, that where you had 2 stories on the end, and I'll go back to that, as you can see, and basically a story in the middle, that they felt that could be managed with regards to some of the development concerns. So they voted to support.
Did any residents or anyone in opposition show up to the MPC meeting?
We had actually the minister showed up. He wanted to know what was being proposed, and he had a couple questions. I don't recall right offhand if any residents, actually I think they came in and asked questions.
They didn't have an opinion on whether they supported it or
Not,
not?
we didn't receive any letters.
Okay,
I'll
got
put
it.
it that way. So, you know, again, sometimes people come to the MPC because they see that sign go up and they're like, what's going on? What's being proposed? What's going to happen? What type of intensity are you looking at? Based on what the size of the property and what you can do, if the developer builds what's proposed, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Our concern is that there are a lot of other uses that could go on that property if it gets rezoned.
Well, thank you. And I think the last thing of course, we're going to hear Mr. Yellen, but I would like to hear what the alderman says too. So thank you.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Alderman Palumbo.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all for focusing in and honing in on this. Mr. Yellen, I might be able to save you a good bit of time because in speaking with the neighbors, this was a welcome addition to the community. The one thing, the comment that I got was, will we get our Vincenzo's Pizzeria now? As, yes, the parcel is surrounded by residential to the rear of the property. If one were to attempt to build a single-family home on White Bluff Road today, I think that they would never pass the threshold of our traffic engineer's office without being laughed out of it. The reality of the situation today is that White Bluff Road has changed a great deal since it was rezoned for residential single-family. And we've got to think about uses that are between an elementary school and a church. I know that there was one neighbor that had some questions about it, and his questions were very well-meaning. Could this be affordable housing someday? Could it house some of our roofless folks? Which would be noble indeed, and I'd support it. But of course, you have to have the funding for it. Today, this site exists to collect litter. It exists to flood, and various encampments that have taken place take place right there. So it's a welcome addition to the community that neighbors support. And I thank the neighborhood president, Mr. Bolton, for conferring with me on this one. So without further ado, regarding the corresponding item, unless there are further questions, I move that the first reading be considered the second, the ordinance placed upon its passage and pass.
Second.
All right, that would be for item number 23.
For item number 23.
The future land use map, the first reading be considered the second, is ordinance placed upon its passage and pass. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. You should make Mr. Yellen work a little bit. Item number 24.
For item number 24, I move that the first reading be considered the second, the ordinance placed upon its passage and pass.
Been probably moved and seconded that the first reading be considered the second, is ordinance placed upon its passage and pass. On number 24, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Items number 25 and 26 have been requested to be continued. Huh? Oh, well, let me do 25 and 26. They have been requested to be continued until September the 10th. Let me go ahead and move those out the way. Can I get a motion to continue 25 and 26?
Mr. Mayor, I offer a motion to continue 25 and 26. Did you say when, sir?
Till September the 10th.
Till September.
Yeah. Second motion.
All right, been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 17 is a public hearing on the adoption of an ordinance imposing a temporary moratorium on the development of conversion activity related to large-scale data centers with an electrical capacity of 10 megawatts or greater, prohibiting the conversion of warehouses and large industrial buildings of 200,000 square feet or more to data center use within the corporate limits of the city of Savannah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that is emergent. It is something that the city manager and I, and certainly the attorney, felt needed to come before you quickly. This is moving, and certainly you have seen with our neighbors all around us and across the state, across the nation. Georgia has become one of the nation's leading markets for data centers, driven by very, very significant state incentives, major fiber infrastructure, and access to utility capacity. Savannah will not be immune from that pressure, but the question really is whether we're prepared for the proposals that will come tomorrow, even though we don't necessarily have any before us today. Before Savannah approves facilities of this scale, we have to fully understand what this means for our electrical grid, for our water resources, for our infrastructure capacity, our land use, what it means for our neighborhoods and our taxpayers. We need to fully understand how many permanent jobs they actually create, what public resources they actually require, and whether the economic benefits are worth it over long-term impacts. We need to set the rules for Savannah before the market sets it for us. And it is moving so fast that we thought it was wise to bring for you a moratorium, date certain for, I believe, 155 days, to allow staff to really put good policy and good process before the politics. And so this is what we're asking to do. We have a public hearing, we'll go ahead and open that up, but the fact is, we should be responsible in this. And responsible is putting the brakes on this long enough to try to figure out what's going on, and more importantly, to figure out how this affects us. I am sure that there are other governments around locally and regionally that are waiting to see what Savannah does. I will tell you, I've gotten phone calls from other governments saying, well, how are y'all handling it? How are you handling it? We're going to handle it like we handle everything, thoughtfully, judiciously, and certainly with public input. So with that being said, I now declare this public hearing open. I do have one card. We did receive some public comments that the clerk has forwarded to us. Mr. Tate, are you here? Randy Tate? Randy? Okay. Well, Randy Tate was in favor of what we're trying to do. So anybody else have any comments? Going once? Going twice?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
move to close the hearing.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Yes, sir.
Move to adopt an ordinance and imposing a temporary moratorium on development of conversion
Can you
activity.
speak a little louder, Kirk, please?
It's been properly moved and seconded.
You know what? It's first reading, isn't it? Or
No, first and second.
Mr. Mayor, let's try this again. Move that the first reading be considered the second ordinance placed upon its passage.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that Savannah imposes a temporary moratorium on the development of conversion activity related to large-scale data centers with an electrical capacity of 10 megawatts or greater, and prohibiting the conversion of warehouses and large industrial buildings of 200,000 square feet or more to data center use within the corporate limits of the city of Savannah. We will get this figured out. We will be thoughtful. We will be judicial. And we will bring back something hopefully by the second meeting in January for council to consider. That will be the result and will be good policy. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving on to, yes.
Number 17 was not under first and second readings on the agenda in our book, so you might want to.
Item number 27 is. 17 is just a hearing.
Say again?
17 is just a hearing.
Oh, just here, okay.
Right.
Okay.
27 is the corresponding item.
Okay, thank you.
All right. We have under second readings, and we need to parse this out. 28 is the petition of Bridget Liddy on behalf of the mayor and aldermen of the city of Savannah for zoning text amendments to Articles 2.0 review bodies and administrators, 3.0 application review procedures, 6.0 special three-purpose districts, 7.0 overlay districts, 8.0 use standards, 9.0 general site standards, and 13.0 abbreviations and definitions to facilitate the transfer of authority of application intake from the city of Savannah to the Chatham County Savannah Metropolitan Planning Commission, and provide a more concise process for the public in the processing of development applications. Mr. Manager, you will have any comments on this based on this morning's workshop?
Mayor, no, just to make sure that council reminds that there's kind of two parts to the discussion here. One part which there's broad agreement and alignment between city staff and MPC about how to improve intake and applications for rezoning and other requests that would now go directly to MPC as the front door for development. And then there's that additional piece, which is the governance piece, which MPC disagrees with the proposal by staff around the governance of this body.
Would that be 2.0? Would that be item 2.0? I mean, let's go ahead and parse it out.
But you would have to, I understand what you're saying. It could be 2.0, but you would have to remove that from the dais.
Right.
You don't have it in two different places.
Right, that's what I'm asking. So 2.0 is the one that deals with governance specifically, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe that we are prepared, as we said earlier, to move forward on the governance piece. We will, but not necessarily today. I want to make sure that we're very clear that we from the dais, remove that part of it, and then that's the 15% that we're working on, and we move on the 85% we do agree on. So I just want to make sure that's wholly contained within 2.0.
No.
It's not. You need
Okay.
3.43 as well.
All right, so it's 3.43. 3.43.
Within the app, so one of the issues, if I understood from workshop today, one of the concerns was what it is that you want MPC to have oversight of. And one of the concerns was section 3.43. And so I would recommend that you pull that one out as well today, and can be readjusted either with some different language from the city attorney's office about as exigent circumstances or something along those lines.
So 2.0 and 3.43.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go ahead and, as it's on second reading, let's go ahead and I'll entertain a motion to first of all remove 2.0 and 3.43 from this body.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a second?
No,
Yes, ma'am.
Right now.
Is there a second?
We're offering a substitutable.
Yes. Mr. Attorney? Well, I think it's under 3.0, so it's under 3.0.
If everybody wants to turn to their hymnal, page 20, let me get the right pages here.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Manager.
So it's
One
going to
moment.
be page 210. 210 is section 3.43, which, if you read that, it's in red. It reads, comprehensive plan amendments initiated by the mayor and alderman, notwithstanding any other provision in this ordinance to the contrary, any amendment initiated by or on behalf of the mayor or the alderman shall not be submitted to or considered by the planning commission unless specifically requested by the city manager or his or her designee. This is the provision that MPC disagrees with, and if you're looking to strike that, that's the provision.
All right.
If you look at...
Was that the only one?
If you look at 2.0, I'm going to look at Melanie, who also should review this. You do not want to strike the sections in section 2, because that deals with just cleaning up the name of the MPC director and other issues.
So it's just 3.43 then? That's the governance issue that we are dealing with. There were two items that dealt with the comprehensive plan.
Well, there was one issue, which was that, and then the planning commission said, if you do adopt that, please adopt a provision that at least gives them 30 days
30 days,
notice.
right.
And now, if you
We're taking that out.
If you strike that provision, then there's no need to provide notice because you're not taking on that authority.
Okay.
But I do, just in order of transparency, I would want you to ask Melanie Wilson to concur with that reading and understanding, so that MPC is also, that you can hear from MPC.
3.
With that.
Ms. Wilson, 3.43 was the issue that we were talking about of governance this morning.
Yes, as I said, it was the language centered around the comprehensive plan.
Which was
amendments,
3.43.
Which was 3.43. That was
Right.
the biggest one. The only other thing was that if you decided to move forward only with map amendments and some text amendments, that you at least give us 30 days to do the
But that was
review.
contained in 3.43.
I think that was contained in 3.43, but the most important piece for MPC, if you had to do it in hierarchy, comp plan number 1, that was the
In
the big issue.
3.43.
In 3.43, yes. sir.
Right, so if your recollection is that everything else, that was 85% of things that we had concurrence on, correct?
I would say yes. We had some, the presentation that you received today with
That's
regard
right.
to all of that, we did have concurrence.
Okay,
on.
that MPC and the city of Savannah concurred on. So then what I'm asking council to do is to remove 3.43. Everything else, the city and MPC concurred on. And,
No.
Not 2.0, not 2.0, just 3.43.
I don't have the sections
Okay.
written here, so I'm sorry.
3.3 deals with
Okay.
the
The comp plan, right, thank you.
This is 3.4,
Right.
and that's what they were doing.
Mr. Mayor?
One moment.
I've got it now, I'm sorry.
I mean,
didn't have the book.
no, I mean, that's your recollection?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
1 second. Alderwoman Wilder Bryan.
Well, that was not my recollection.
Well, that's fine.
My recollection was that from the last 2 weeks, we talked about this, and I have some trepidation and apprehension about this, because y'all brought this to us in a workshop, and y'all said that we was gonna have as much time as we could to beat this down. Now, y'all can't even figure out if it's 2 point or 3 point, and my recollection is that we did not wanna move on this until we got further information. Y'all gave us some stuff at workshop that I have not been able to acclimate in my brain to make it make sense. And so, the only thing that I would be voting for, that I heard today, is change the name to director. All that other stuff, I would not be voting for that, not today.
Mr. Manager?
So that we can have
I'm
time.
happy.
One moment.
I'm happy to take that advice, and if city council is willing, we can continue this item to September 10th. I will bring a clean version that I work on together with CEO Wilson that extracts the comp plan concerns and gives you 2 more weeks to understand all of the other issues, but that you're not having to deal with extracting provisions from this.
Fine, if it makes it easier. Alderwoman Shabazz.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
I would like for us to, if we can, just continue this whole item.
Well, that's what the city manager is recommending.
Mr. Mayor?
Continue the whole item, not alleviating any portion of this.
That's what city manager just
All right.
recommended.
So every piece of it.
I'm going to move that we continue this to September the 10th. All right, yes, ma'am.
If that's the legal way, I was just gonna make a substitute motion and do just that.
Right, okay, yes.
Done, it's done.
Well, I'll yield to you then.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, because of the consternation here, I
Come
do
on.
recommend that we continue this into September the 10th,
Yes.
so we could get the.
Second,
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And then item number 29 is on second reading. This is the part of the Housing Toolkit text amendment that was presented to us as a result of our housing mobile tour with the items that we requested from councils. This is on second reading. Is there a motion regarding this? Yes,
Move to approve.
there's a second.
No, sir. I'll
Properly-
substitute
Well,
motion.
what did you say, what is your substitute
That
motion?
we do the same thing for 28, that we do this for 29. That we pause on this and get all the information, because we spent a lot of time on this today.
What other information do you need, ma'am?
So that we are, well, we had an alderman that wanted to move forward so that his district is represented and this moves forward. When the other aldermen are saying, I have not had the experience to say, we come back and we address them. Never in my experience, sitting on this council, have we voted for something, and in the same year, we came back and said, we're gonna add this. I'm not comfortable with that.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this text amendment, number 29. Y'all gave us some information again today, and I don't see how y'all think that we can move forward when we had so much communication about how this is going to play out in the other districts, because we're always trying to sacrifice other districts so another district can get what they want. At some point in my term here, I would like to see an ordinance that how difficult it is, but we got smart people here, I'm talking about the staff, to make some stuff work for all of the districts at the same time. And it's not a city ordinance that says, we're gonna come back after the horse is out the gate.
Mr. Mayor.
That is the problem that I have.
Mr. Manager? Well,
I offered a second motion.
In terms of when council is ready to consider this item, that's up to council.
Yeah.
To recap, the amendments in this Housing Tools Amendment are restricted to business, community, and office institutional uses, districts.
Wherever they are.
And they're in specific corridors across the city. and that those maps were provided and discussed. I heard conversation today about residential zones being rezoned to commercial zones and some concern there. This amendment actually adds residential uses to commercial zones, which kind of counteracts some of that balance as well, and adds residential uses as a use for some of our commercial zones. To the point about whether or not staff can tailor this amendment to meet every 9 members' exact needs, we can attempt. We've tried and we've offered one in regards to the size of certain BC districts because of concerns that Alderwoman Lanier has raised, and we can implement those if adopted. But this really looks at those 2 zones, BC and OI. So it's really restricted to those 2 districts on where we would allow this housing type. So happy if council needs more time to digest that, and my office is available to provide any additional information that you want, but all of the information related to these amendments are in these binders and are in the proposed and red line amendments. There's also a very helpful presentation, I thought, today by our staff, by John Adingnost, that connected all of the different amendments to the visual tour that we took earlier this summer. So without specific policy changes that can be communicated directly to me, I wouldn't know what to change or what to bring back.
Okay, so,
Nor would this change, one moment, nor would this change, this is a tool in the toolbox. All tools are not used for all purposes. So, I mean, do you see any significant change in what you propose now or 2 weeks from now as it relates to this particular item?
The only specific change that has been requested by a member of council to me was regarding regulating the size of BC districts and whether or not standalone apartments would be allowed in smaller sized BC lots. Our response to that request was specific language which categorized those BC lots in 2 different ways based on size: below half an acre and above half an acre. And the provision would be that below half an acre standalone apartments would not be allowed by right, and that above half an acre in BC zones standalone apartments would be. That's the only specific policy that we've been requested to amend that we've sent a response.
Alderwoman Shabazz.
Mayor, I'd like to.
One moment.
Finish.
Alderwoman Shabazz, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to, in hearing the voices of my colleagues on City Council with this item, we have questions about it still, and what we would like to happen on this is to continue this item until the first or second meeting in September.
Alderwoman Lanier.
Yes, I'm in agreement with the other councilwomen. This isn't time sensitive, and it's just too much confusion, and that size piece, the recombination piece, and council members not feeling included in the conversation. I think in 2 weeks, if we could just come back with 2 clean pieces of legislation, I think we'll be able to address these without pressing it here today. 2 weeks, I don't think will make much difference. I don't think too much going to happen in the 2 weeks.
Alderwoman Miller Blakely.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I thought I heard Alderwoman from the 3rd District make a motion to come back in 2 weeks. Am I correct?
Well,
I second that motion.
Okay. Alderman Palumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Colleagues, hear me loud and clear. We'll have another 2 weeks, perhaps, to evaluate this. We have been on a bus tour. We have taken a strategic vision. We have spent years on challenging this and taking a look at it for ourselves. Use these 2 weeks diligently, please, because it is time sensitive to my district. You may not have a gigantic commercial hole in the middle of your district, but I do, that is filled with abandoned, decaying places that deserve to have the right.
Alderwoman, please. Let me-
Well, and if it is all over the city, but I direct.
Alderman Palumbo has the floor.
And it is all over the city, but it directly impacts my district significantly. So you may not get those complaints and those calls from the mall when they ask you, can you repair my fountain? Do you have a grant for me? What about affordable housing or a Stevens Day for a commercial district? It literally doesn't exist. So what they're asking is for the flexibility that many of the petitioners have pursued themselves by hiring one of those expensive land use attorneys and coming up to this governing body in a convoluted planning and zoning process to maybe approach this governing body and build housing instead. Because right now, they're not going to give up the business commercial zoning when they could just build another storage unit or another dead-end strip mall or maybe something else that people don't like and enjoy. And many of the commercial property owners are begging for an alternative. That is the only thing that I am seeking. So yes, you may study this, understand it, get down to the nitty-gritty. My phone is available for any of these questions, but I want to make sure that to delay is not to deny, because we have worked extremely hard on this for a long time. And if we are going to be the council that makes a pledge to housing, let us be the council that makes the pledge to housing. Thank
That's
you.
exactly.
All right, is there a second? There was a motion. There was a motion and second to delay for 2 weeks. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed?
Mr. Mayor, Mr.
All right,
Mayor.
motion passes, I believe.
Mr. Mayor.
Nay, so that is, we'll go 7-2. Yes?
Mr. Mayor, first of all, we feel, I can stick my chest out and raise my voice about some things that I want my just. I did not say that we should not need to move on this, but it's unrealistic for y'all to have a workshop and on the same day we vote for it.
Well, actually, it was on the agenda 2 weeks ago, but I mean,
Listen, on that agenda 2 weeks ago, you said that you would give us the time to do this, so we.
And we did almost 3 hours
And
today.
So my point was when we said this, and I asked about that. Y'all said that y'all was gonna give me some information.
All right.
So listen. So if the city manager says that we gonna have 2 weeks to do something, and we say what we are have some trepidation about or some apprehension about, shouldn't they give us the information?
Alderwoman, you have the information.
No, we don't.
You have 2 weeks.
Okay.
You have the staff available.
So
you have the
Mr.
staff.
Bates, Mr. Bates.
One second.
Mr. Mayor, you.
Wait, one second.
Question.
We have already moved on this. You
didn't let me finish.
You made.
moved on it without it.
It was your motion that's approved.
But no, because you.
Your motion was made.
Mayor,
Your motion was approved,
time.
and so we've done.
No, we're not done.
Yes, we are.
We're done because you say something.
No. You asked for 2 weeks. That was your motion. It was seconded by Alderwoman Miller Blakely. The council voted,
What's gonna be
and
different?
it's passed. You have the 2 additional weeks that you asked for.
Okay, and so y'all gonna figure out what we gonna take 2.0 or 3.0 or 4.0? Y'all gonna come back and tell me?
You talking about something different now.
No, I'm talking about all of the process.
You have it confused.
No, I'm not confused.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
I'm not.
The item we voted on.
Not allowing us to talk about
Well,
stuff that you're not
again,
interested in.
no.
Yes,
I'm very interested in
Okay,
housing.
so I'm interested in letting
But
people get what
Alderwoman,
they do.
Alderwoman, we have moved on 2 items right now. We have taken action. The first one was the NPC. We pushed back for 2 weeks. We have also gone on housing, and we've moved that back for 2 weeks.
Every day for the last
So,
2 weeks, I'm gonna
ma'am,
be giving questions.
Well, you should.
Yeah, and I will.
You should. And staff is available
And we
to
should-
take all of your questions. Please ask. Yes, go ahead.
Can I say this too?
Yes.
As a rule of thought, could y'all not put stuff on the agenda that we have to vote on after we have a workshop that costs 5 hours or 6 hours, and then we have to regurgitate what y'all said the same day? That's not fair. And you always say 2 weeks. What can we get in 2 weeks? It's just.
The council, the council moved it to 2 weeks.
All right. So
It was a unanimous motion of council that we delayed it 2 weeks. That is how I ended up on the agenda. The council could have said 4 weeks. The council unanimously
Well, I
said,
would say 4 weeks.
well, but you didn't. The council said 2 weeks, which is why it's on the agenda. It's not staff's fault it was on the agenda. It's council. Council decided 2 weeks.
See, you listen.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
1 second.
Mr. Mayor and
Yes,
City
ma'am.
Council.
What? No, 1 second, ma'am.
Alderman Palumbo made a comment about this being very, very important. What area in your district is this commercial property you're talking about? Because I would like to go and physically see what it is you're talking about.
Fair question.
Abercorn Street, all of Abercorn Street from Durant Avenue down to White Bluff, down White Bluff Avenue, all the way down to Davidson Avenue. And all of the areas that are shaded on the map in red and blue, which encompass a large, extremely large portion of the 4th District, including Montgomery Crossroads and the East-West Corridor, Hodgson Memorial Drive and Stevenson, and so many of the other office institutional corridors that continue to exist. Not comprehensive of the 6th District, which also includes extraordinarily large business commercial zoning districts.
Abercorn from Tibet all the way down to Rio Road and the
Wow.
surrounding area.
And Mr. Mayor?
So, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, I was next.
One moment.
I was
Yes, ma'am.
next. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
1 second.
I just wanted
One
to-
second. The chair recognizes Alderwoman Lanier.
Okay, and next time, if you
All
could
right,
recognize
one chair.
me next.
Chair recognizes Alderwoman
The
Lanier.
point that the alderman just made, I accept that, and
One second, y'all. We can't hear.
the point that the alderman just made, I understand they're talking about those large lots and the jeopardy they're facing, and I don't know what would happen in 2 weeks. But mine is just the opposite that hadn't been dealt with, the small lots, and they're still trying to fit the same type development on small lots less than half an acre. So that's one end of the spectrum, but I'm at the other end, so I need my concerns dealt with, and I think I have 2 weeks now to make sure that I don't have to make a condition and it's in the ordinance, and so that's my position. Now, I think in 2 weeks, I don't think all of that is gonna blow up in 2 weeks, and we're kicking the can 2 weeks, and I think we'll be able to satisfy us, but I'm hearing probably at least 5 people right now today with trepidation and don't want to go forward. So that's your vote the next time. So let's deal with it.
Yes.
And let's make sure that our minds are at ease so we all want this, I think, but we just want to make sure that we work out these kinks and these little tweaks and not be feeling forced today. And I think if it takes 2 weeks for us to get to that point, then let's take this 2 weeks and get it done so they could deal with their citizens in that area.
The council's already voted on that. So, Alderwoman Shabazz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What I would like to say on this day is, Mr. City Manager, would you please, with your staff, sort of schedule with us, the members of council, so that we can have some structure, scheduled talk, and to get our questions to you, and for you to get our answers back to us within this 2 weeks period. That's what I wanted to say.
Ma'am, I have standing meetings with almost every single member of council weekly. Happy to take these concerns. What is going to help me and city staff is some specific policy questions. So to the point we were making about the smaller lots, Alderwoman Lanier had a specific concern. She raised that specific concern. We researched the specific concern. We returned back to her a policy option that we thought might address that specific concern. So if council wants us to address specific concerns, then we need to hear those specific concerns. Otherwise, I think what we just hear is we're uncomfortable moving forward. We need to do more. We need more information, but we don't know exactly what additional information you might require, what questions you have. So the more specificity you can give, the better. I think this is a really big policy, of course. It's, I think, some really important tools, but the key to it for you as policymakers is it just involves 2 zoning districts. 2 zoning districts. So we're not talking about comprehensive changes to every zoning district in our zoning code. We're talking about 2, business community and office institutional. So the use boxes are relatively small, and you can dive into those issues. The map that we've provided show every business commercial district that currently exists in the city, as well as every office institutional. I will send to council after this meeting maps which break the BC districts into those that are less than 5 acres in size and those that are greater than 5 acres in size, which is to Alderwoman Lanier's point. So hopefully that information provides more, but happy to take specific questions about specific policy concerns so that we can then come back to you with a policy response to that.
Thank you so much. And I believe what's going to happen with this exercise is a nice change for the city council members. And that is for us to have information ahead of time and not to hear information in workshop and then come over here and not having a chance to discuss it in detail and vote on it on the same day. And I like what you're introducing to us by giving us some information on our zoning or information like we're talking about now, 2 weeks ahead of time, some specific things that you want us to know ahead of time so that we'll have the 2 weeks or the month or whatever the time length to get back with you with specific questions so we can have specific answers. And when we come to council, we are all clear and ready to move on the business.
Yes, ma'am, and I think that's a very wise point, and it's a learning opportunity for staff as well. When we put together the housing tour that we took with council in the workshop, the direction that we were given at the end of that tour was to move forward and submit these amendments to MPC, and so that we could get them back to council, and that's what we did. The time you take with it is yours, and we want you to have that. So we'll learn too as we go through that what kind of information sessions and additional workshop items we may need to make sure that all of your concerns are addressed.
Thank you, City Manager.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. City Manager, how did this item get on the agenda so fast?
The housing tools item?
Yes.
The one we're discussing right now?
No, the BC, the business commercial.
Yeah, the housing
Yes,
tools.
Yes.
So we've been working on housing as a team together, all of us. Y'all have been doing it for 7 years. I've been with you for 5. In my first...
But that's not my question. My
no.
question is this particular...
So this particular one...
Item.
From December.
Is when council asked for more zoning tools. Yep. And we came back and recommended that there were a number of zoning tools we could do in a workshop almost a year ago, maybe more. Then we did a tour to show where those zoning tools might take place, right? So that we're responding to the policy goals of council.
Right.
We worked hand in hand on this with MPC, right? So we listened to your feedback. We developed some options. We took a housing tour to show council visually, this is what we would mean by this when it comes to you. We drafted an ordinance change. City staff drafted an ordinance change in conjunction with MPC. We submitted it to MPC. MPC did their review. MPC presented that review to the Metropolitan Planning Commission. There was a public hearing. The Metropolitan Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval. We have a 15-day notice period for zoning items. It was noticed appropriately, just like any other zoning item. It came to City Council as a first and second reading. That was 2 weeks ago. City Council decided to have a second reading on this and also asked if I would host a workshop on that item
Stop
today.
right there.
And we did.
The reason I'm asking you to stop right there, didn't you ask for the same thing, Alderwoman Lanier? Similar to this? Come on now. Didn't you ask for zoning for the first district and something referenced similar to this? Okay, thank you.
Alderwoman Bryan. Please, microphone's off.
For the record, I think that every district should get what they need, right? And so I'm not questioning that he shouldn't get it. I'm just saying that I have not had an opportunity to talk with Mr. Bates, and he offered that. And so when we have these workshops, the questions that we have on Wednesday, because all of us in the same room, we don't have the same, when we talk to you about what we need, we talk to you individually. So when we go on these workshops, Mr. City Manager, we have everybody's input, so those questions change. That is my point. And so if the questions change, that information that we've processed earlier, I don't want to vote on it because we've got to additional process what she wants, or he wants, and what he wants. So I don't see anything wrong with waiting to respond and not having that on the agenda.
Yes, ma'am, you're not going to get any disagreement from me.
That's all I'm saying.
The timing is
I'm not saying that
yours.
he shouldn't move on and he should get his district. I'm saying that the process that was in front of us, the process that's in front of us, if I'm going to put my name on it, it doesn't matter what district is going on. At some point, it's going to touch our district because that's how it works. And so y'all getting mad about us saying, can we get what it is? Because we are carrying on stuff that I did not agree with the other administration.
Yes,
and surely it's going to be the same thing.
So
Logic and reason has to come before all, and it's not a hard choice. It's just a realistic choice that we be able to beat this stuff up and understand what we are signing on our name forever and ever. And I don't know why people are mad about that. And if they're mad about that, they're going to be okay.
So
I don't think anybody's
city
mad
staff
about
is
it.
certainly not mad
I'm
at
not
the
talking about city staff.
legislative
I'm talking about people on this
process.
dais, if you scream and holler in your chest and beg your fence, it's not going to
I
change.
think the only thing that I would request of city council as we move forward is we want to respond to your needs and and requests for information. So the more specific you can be about the information that you want or the concerns that you have, the better we'll be in responding to that, hopefully with some policy options for council to consider. Otherwise, I have nothing new to bring to you in 2 weeks on this item. It would be the same item unless you come to me with a specific policy in mind that you want to see options for.
So to go forward, staff did exactly what we asked them to do. They brought us what we asked them to do. It's our responsibility to read, study, be approved, ask questions, engage, offer suggestions where we can. And again, nobody's mad about anything. It's 2 weeks is 2 weeks. Again, this is our policy. We'll take our time on it. But again, this is also one of the things we have identified as being our strategic priorities. So thank you for that, Mr. Manager. So moving on to 54, which was approval of a memorandum of understanding for a Bay Street microsimulation study between the City of Savannah and the Metropolitan Planning Commission. I believe Alderman Leggett, you had a question about this? All right. You have a motion? All right, go ahead. We'll start.
Which one? Go ahead.
Cut your microphone on, please.
Mr. Manager, on that particular one, number 54.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you, I did look in the back, but it still didn't answer my question. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and why we're focusing on that, just that area, and what are we trying to achieve there?
This is MPO grant funding that is available for this. This is a microsimulation study on freight traffic along Bay Street. It's
State route.
It's been an issue for a long time. It impacts not only Bay Street here on the east side or in downtown, but also West Bay Street as well. So we just want to learn more about the traffic simulation and being able to understand what kind of impacts. Sorry.
But, okay, so I get that, but
That's your city at work. So that's your city at work. It's Bay Street study. So we're just wanting to take advantage of these MPO dollars and better understand
1.3 miles, and it's going from Farm Street to President. There have been concern for years about the traffic in that area, the parking in that area. We've had some projects where we shut down lanes before, all trying to find out what fit. So is this the reason that we're targeting that particular area and not the whole West Bay Street? I'm just trying to get a little understanding here.
Let me ask Faye to talk more about the microsimulation study. Thank you.
Sorry. I'm Fada Massimo, Chief of Planning and Economic Development. The concentration on this particular, that part of the corridor is because there is also an additional effort that we're looking at through Savannah Moves and through another grant that we also have in place to look at the broader end-to-end, if you will, of Bay Street. But that concentrated piece of it, that where we have, this is intended to focus on the predominant uses of freight, vehicular travel, and pedestrian travel that are so concentrated in that particular segment, and be able to understand better how to manage it.
And what are you hoping to achieve after this, a new design? Because we've talked about tunnels, we've talked about bridges in the past, the impact of the trucks on these historic buildings. So what are we trying to
Absolutely.
achieve this time?
That's a great question. This will enable us to have really much better insights into the detail of the traffic, how much, what kind, times a day, volume of trucks in particular, turning movements, pedestrian counts, all of it in great detail. And then it will suggest to us what some improvements should be. So the improvements are not determined yet, but the outcomes of this microsimulation modeling will give us a better understanding of the traffic movements and activities that we can then build in better solutions to bring back to you to consider.
Okay, I'm just hoping that this time we could make a decision and do whatever it is that we need to do, because gosh, I know the people around here who've been around a long time, we remember so many studies about that particular corridor right there. And
yes,
so
ma'am.
hopefully this time we could do something with this study and not just have another study, on the shelf.
Mayor Johnson,
I got something.
I have a question. Mr. Marcio?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you are doing just one portion, 1.3 miles
Yes, ma'am.
the east of Bay, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So why not down on the west side of Bay, where they have been asking for a traffic light, where we talk about Vision Zero, but there's nothing down there to prevent?
Well, both the Vision Zero plan update, great questions again. Both the Vision Zero plan update that is underway or about to be underway, the Savannah Moves project, which is looking at Bay Street, which is what I think was being referenced earlier, end to end, as well as some coordination of work with GDOT, because as we know from MLK West, it's state route. This portion of it is under our control, and hence the real intense look at the traffic to enable us to bring forward good solutions that can partner with both Vision Zero activities, Savannah Moves suggestions, partnerships with GDOT and so forth on the entire length of the corridor.
And a reminder to council, just because one thing is on the agenda doesn't mean that we're not looking at other more holistic things like through the Savannah Moves plan. That traffic light that you've talked about, we're actively working with GDOT, on the request for a stop sign, and we've been working with Alderwoman Lanier. GDOT has a different thought than we have on that, but we're still working with them on those efforts there. So just a reminder.
You know what, Mr. City Manager, I find it real interesting that things can get on the agenda and we talk about it and discuss it and what have you, and then there are certain things that can't and have not gotten on the agenda, and those are the issues and concerns that we were talking about 5, 6, 7 years ago when we first came to council. So I just want to see equity in what we're doing here, okay?
Mr. Manager, I want to just to state again for the record that Bay Street going west is under the control of GDOT. We didn't control that road, never have controlled it. And so therefore things like traffic control devices and those types of things have to be done by GDOT and approved by GDOT. The city can't arbitrarily just drop something there, correct?
We cannot.
Okay.
You're correct about that.
So, I mean, we could been asking for it wherever the state has to agree to be able to do it. And I think that has been the challenge. Even when they were redesigning it, the city had some very clear things we wanted to see, but of course GDOT had to approve it.
That's right, but I do want to be clear too on the equity piece that we are currently doing the Savannah Moves plan, which is the very first local Savannah multimodal
Mobility,
transportation plan. It's the very first transportation plan ever. And that's looking citywide. That's looking at our neighborhoods, not just our traffic, our freight routes, certainly not just downtown or major commercial corridors. So I want, just as we chip away at these things on the agenda where we have opportunities to get state grants or use MPO funding to do microsimulations where maybe GDOT, has some interest in learning more about freight traffic up and down Bay Street, we certainly want that information as well, and we shouldn't leave that opportunity or money on the table because it doesn't include other parts of the city. I think the reminder that I'm giving here is that we are looking at a holistic approach to our transportation through that Savannah Moves plan, through Savannah Vision Zero initiatives and others. So just a reminder about that.
All right, is there a motion?
I have a question, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Victory Drive, is that GDOT or is that the?
Victory Drive is a state route.
State,
Yes.
yeah.
That's the state route, the whole
State,
Victory Drive?
State 80.
Because there's a new light at Atlantic. And it's not a cross street, it's just for pedestrian, but it's a whole light.
We got a flashing light at the Atlantic crossing, probably took 15 years.
26.
26 years. 26 years.
So-
Hey, but it was a courtesy to Chief DeMassimo and her team for working with GDOT and Commissioner Ann Purcell that, we didn't make it 27, so.
Yeah.
I was just doing the math, and it was 22 years ago, the first letter I wrote to GDOT about the Bay Street light. Now, look, we did
And the
get a
same
big light, but
energy.
it wasn't what we needed.
Yes, ma'am. I understand you didn't, they offered the K style or R style stop there, and you don't like that, and we're putting
None
the
of us like
same.
that. That's not what we wanted 20-some years ago.
100%, I got you. The same energy that we're taking on any other project with GDOT across the city, we're taking with that project as well. So but there's not a Faye is the closest thing there ever was to a GDOT whisper, and we're working hard on that. So I think, I just want council to be clear that for every item you have in your district that requires GDOT, we're working just as hard on those as we would in other places as well.
And we love GDOT and the partnership with GDOT.
100%. They're great
Listen,
partners.
y'all, if it's not over 20 years on the item, they just get started with us at 20 years and then they move forward.
I'll tell you, it's taking longer than that for Ageechee Road and Styles Avenue.
Absolutely.
So I'm just reminding you that there. Is there a motion for item number 54?
Mr. Mayor, move to approve item number 54.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Under the city attorney's items 57, 58, and 59.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I move to authorize the city attorney's office to settle the claim of Eric Mike for $55,000. Item number 58. Move to authorize the city attorney's office to settle a claim of Zachariah, maybe, Nevels for $500,000. And item number 59, move to authorize the city attorney's office to settle a claim of Donald Solomon for $224,124.87.
There been properly moved and seconded. We authorize the city attorney's office to settle the claim of Eric Mike for $55,000. Move to authorize the city attorney's office to settle the claim of Zakira Nevels for $500,000, and move to authorize the city attorney's office to settle the claim of Donald Sullivan for $224,124.87. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 60 is authorize city manager to approve a major subdivision for a portion of parcel at C1-1A1, number 150 Eastern Wharf Drive, located in Automatic District 1.
It's actually District 2.
It's District 2.
District 2, Alderman Leggett.
Ask that we authorize the city manager to approve the major subdivision portion of parcel C-1A1 and 150 Eastern Wharf.
Second.
All right, properly moved and seconded. Mr. City Manager, let's make that correction for the record. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
I
passes.
oppose.
Motion passes 8-1. Item number 61, authorize city manager to approve a major subdivision for New Hampstead Part 1, Phase 1, located in Aldermanic District 5.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt the agenda item as written.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. It's not a public hearing, ma'am. With all due respect, no, ma'am. What did she say? It's not a public hearing item. It's not a public hearing. It's not something that's required for the council to have a public hearing on. Ma'am, you'd have to engage with our attorney.
Major subdivisions are legal plots.
Okay.
That come after approved rezonings.
Which are public hearings.
Or come after planned unit developments. So those would be the public processes. The major subdivisions are when city council approves the meets and bounds of subdivided parcels so that they can be recorded properly in the courts.
Thank you, Ms. City Manager. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our printed and published agenda. Is there anything from members of council?
Hope is alive in the 3rd district.
And I do have one thing.
Anything? Dark. Yes, ma'am.
From you? No.
Oh, go ahead. Your mic is not on.
Sorry. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to our stormwater department, Anthony Caston, Eric and Brian for the rain barrel initiative. We are all over the city. On Monday, we were at Connors Temple. On Tuesday, WW Law. On yesterday, the park. On today, JEA. On Monday, we will be at Windsor Forest. On Tuesday, we will be at Tatumville. And on Wednesday, we will be at Hudson Hill Community Center. And I'm asking that our citizens go and get those rain barrels. With the weather that has been the way it's been, they would be full if we got them on Monday.
And you are working on one for the Highlands.
Oh, yes, and we are definitely working on the Highlands as well. Also, I attended CAPS, the Chatham Apprentice Program. Is that the name of it? Thank you very much. And I must say, that was a phenomenal graduation ceremony, and that is one program in our city that is doing awesome and phenomenal things. And they said they need more money, Mr. City Manager. So I hope that we can look
Well,
at...
with all due respect, the CAPS is with Step Up Savannah. It is funded entirely by the county.
Right.
So
Oh,
it's
entirely by the county.
Entirely by the county.
Okay, well, they asked if the city could give them something.
It's funded by the county.
So maybe we could help.
We have grant funding programs if they want to apply for it, but they are funded by the county. And as I advised them,
But we can do
they need to go back to the county because the county claims that program, and the
Right.
county needs to go ahead and
But
fund it.
I understand, but we can do things different. We do it every day. We can make changes. No.
Anything else?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say on tomorrow, there will be the Homeboy reunion on the Hudson Hill Park. They've been having that reunion for over 60 years.
Tomorrow, Saturday.
Saturday. What's the day? I don't know. Saturday, I'm sorry. It will be Saturday. They'll be out there all day, and they'll have the Coach Jerome Pimp Green tournament where the Whippers and the Stallions will be playing. They'll be there all day, so if you want to come out and just have a good time. I think a couple of different age groups they have playing.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to send out condolences to the Johnson family because in West Savannah we have lost a giant on yesterday, Mr. Wally Premier Johnson, who is well known throughout our community. I've been knowing him over 60 years, and our hearts are full in losing such a warrior for our community. So please keep the family in prayer. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, there is something.
Yes, ma'am.
The Civic Center, so sorry because of health reasons but I heard that it was amazing. Where my brick? I heard it was an awesome.
Mr. Manager, the city manager will make sure those who did not attend will get
Yes, please.
the mementos from that day. It was an awesome day. and serve. Again, the city manager is working on all of that.
Perhaps you will get one.
It's your birthday.
All right. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your birthday, Mr. Melder.
Oh, Lordy have mercy. Finally getting out of here. What time is it?
Mr. Marshall.